half.
Yeah, I think in terms of being that outside link, I think she has to be... I think at her best, she's that sort of key into the way that Carlton into forward 50. Really is key to setting that up and really providing that drive. I think it probably plays more to structure. I think for Carlton, they just for too long they just go, particularly at AFLW level, they just content to go long and just stick it on and stick it long and go that way. But they need purpose, and I think this is where I want to see them attack with purpose. And I think that's where Lauren Brazali can really give them that. Today. It's just more, I think, maybe a confidence issue as well. Just sort of form happens. You know, you lose form, you can lose that sometimes. But I think, you know, she's going to be key today.
Yeah.
No
What's that, Paul?
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry, okay.
I turn me mic back on. What have you made of Carlton's AFLW scenario coming into this season, Brent, and how it's played out? And I mean, what players do you think? I mean, because I think selection integrity's it's a big thing and it's been one of my bugbears with my footy club for the last couple of years. But I mean, half strung. He come up with all the changes sort of halfway through the season. And he's dropped a couple of names back there, like Charlotte Wilson was. You know, coming into this year, I thought getting her back into that back line from an AFLW perspective was going to be huge, but not been good enough clearly. And now she's back down here playing her craft.
Yeah, so in total 6 AFLW listed players on the list today. I was having a look at their best and fairest, their top 10 from last season, and from memory I think there was only one VFLW listed player in the top 10. So obviously a new coach this year, Luke O'Shannessy last year, Tom Stafford this year. It'll be interesting to see when the AFLW has been run and won what all of the aligned teams do through the back end of the VFLW season. Carlton being one of them. I'm not sure they're going to be players at the back end of the AFLW season. I'm sorry to say that, Paul. Not completely out of it. But they'd have to get on a bit of a run. But no, I think there's a couple of young ladies that could probably do with a bit of a run in the VFLW when the season's finished. Paige Trudgeon is one of them. I know we've seen quite a bit of her at the VFLW level. She looks great at this level. She's probably not quite been that good up at the elite level. But the interesting thing as well will be to see, obviously, when the AFLW season is finished, where do the Blues sit amongst the pack in the VFLW level?
Correct.
Because if it looks like they're probably not in finals contention, then I dare say the sort of AFLW listed players you will see will be ladies like Annie Lee, the youngsters who will play at this level. You might only see half a dozen of the listed girls and then the rest VFLW and play out the season like that. But if they can win today and get back to use an American term, 500, 2-2, 2-2 they would be, and then they can maybe get ahead of the ledger, and if they can sniff a final spot, I'll tell you what, they might be tempted to drop back a couple of, maybe a Nicola Stevens or Georgia G or a couple of those names. You also don't want to risk, with all due respect to this competition, you don't want to risk, your best players at the elite level just to try and make finals in the VFLW. So you'll have some decisions to make, Tom Stafford, won't he?
We will indeed. And with that, we'll take a quick little break here on Wharf Radio. It is the Round 4 VFLW clash between Carlton and Port Melbourne. Teams almost making their way out onto the park. And after this break, we will be back for the first bounce between these two teams.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Lowe, long jump gold medalist and world record holder. When I was 15, I was waiting to catch my train. In a split second, my life changed. As the train arrived, the crowd surged forward. I was too close to the platform edge, lost my balance, and fell into the path of the oncoming train. I was in a coma for 2 weeks, and it took 2 years to walk again. So please, stand back, look up, and stay rail safe.
The average person spends 44 minutes a day thinking about food. At Oz Harvest, thinking about food is a full-time job because we're always looking for new ways to nourish our country and combat food waste and hunger. Every day, we rescue quality surplus food across Australia and deliver it to those who'd otherwise go hungry. And you can help. Every dollar donated to Oz Harvest can provide 2 meals to people in need. Visit ozharvest.org. Thought for food.
Hey.
Hi.
Yo, what's up?
We're here for Rad.
Here's a simple word of advice.
Don't drink and drive.
If you plan to drink, plan ahead.
Give up the keys.
Either drink or drive. Don't mess around trying to do both.
When you drink and drive, you're risking the life of yourself and the lives of everybody on the road.
It takes a lot of courage to convince a friend not to drive after they've been drinking, but you might just be saving their life.
So if you plan to drink, plan not to drive.
Been playing for a while, Sweet Kicks, 'cause footy makes you smile. Sweet Kicks football. If you're getting ready for the trials, gotta go the extra mile. Sweet Kicks football.
Not always hearing that sweet sound when you kick the ball? Need to develop your footwork or explosive speed? Want to take the next step in your footy career? Then you need Sweet Kicks. More info on our Facebook page or go to our website, sweetkicksfootballacademy.com.au.
Gotta go the extra mile. Sweet Kicks football.
There's jumpers, hoodies, and tees for you at leaguetees.com.au.
Leaguetees.com.au is your place for retro footy gear with designs created by local artists that you won't find anywhere else. Plus, their unique range of women's footy tees help raise funds for Indigenous literacy programs. Get online and start shopping today.
leaguetees.com.au.
We are the Australian Literacy and Numeracy Foundation, striving to empower our most marginalised communities through literacy and education. Literacy is having a voice. Literacy is opportunity. Literacy is dreaming big. Literacy is freedom. Today, you can help end inequality and give every child access to our life-changing and proven literacy programs. Your support is vital. Donate now at alnf.org.
Storms are Australia's most costly natural disaster. Getting prepared now is the best way to protect people and to minimise damage to your property. Keep your gutters, downpipes and drains clear and stash any loose items in yards or on balconies. Trim any trees and branches hanging too close to your house and keep your roof in good repair. For emergency help, call the SES on 132 500.
Feeling a little down? Drop into the Reach Out website at reachout.com.au and let us put a spring back in your step. When times are tough, clear your head at reachout.com.au.
It's women's Aussie rules. They're doing what they love. They're fast, they're tough. Don't mess with them because they can get rough. Are you ready for the challenge? Are you ready for the match? It's the call of the game. It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day. It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
It is the VFLW match of the day. This round 4 clash between Carlton and Port Melbourne here at Icon Park. Both teams have made their way out onto the luscious green surface of Princes Park here. I'm your host today, Paul Sebastiani, joined in the box by Brett Sternberg and match analysts Katie Lambeski and Toby Hansen. And to those on the YouTube stream, welcome into the YouTube stream on the VFL and VFLW YouTube page. Make sure you subscribe to that station and tune into Wharf Radio at the ground. 90.1 FM is the dial on your radio. And with around about 4 minutes to go until the opening bounce, we're not going to get a better warm-up view of the Port Melbourne Borough, Brent. It's their voices are up, they're up and about, and look like they're ready to rock and roll.
Called them a few times, the Borough girls. They are a loud group. They're always vocal before the game. I just saw one of them go for a bit of a tumble, which hopefully is not a good omen for the afternoon or the morning. I think it was Olivia Barton that fell flat on her face, but hopefully just blowing out the cobwebs, and hopefully she can stay upright on her 2 feet this morning. But no, this is... I don't want to blow this up too much, but it might be their season today.
Could very much be, Katie. Could very much be.
Yeah, they have to play like they have to play like it is, and I think it's to them. It's about getting a good start early on, come out hot, really put Carlton under pressure, really get some momentum going early doors, and build on it from there. Toby.
Yeah, we're largely seeing a different Port Melbourne side today. One of the great Victorian football clubs, and I think there could be an upset brewing. I'm not sure, but Port Melbourne, they're looking very strong. Couple of Richmond listed players in this squad as well, and of course. They will look good with their captain back running through the midfield.
Now, we'll go through it before the first bounce. Brent, your tip by how much, and who's the player to watch today? I think from both sides. We'll pick a player to watch from both sides.
Well, I'm going to tip Carlton this morning because I would like to get out of here alive. I think the Blues will win. I think this is going to be a close game today. I reckon the Blues will win by under a goal. For the Blue Baggers, I'm going to stay safe and go with Amelia Klingbeil. I think she's going to be an important player in the engine room there. In terms of the Port Melbourne side, I'm a big fan of Courtney Bramage. I'm sticking in the middle. She's a fantastic player, a young lady that's come down from Queensland up there in Cairns, I think, to come down and play in the VFLW last season. She was a train-on player with the Tigers VFLW list in 2020 from Brisbane originally. Runner-up in their best and fairest last year. She was tied with Mel Kais behind Claire Diet. So she's a fantastic in today. They always look light on in the middle when Courtney Bramage isn't in there, but I think Carlton will win today.
Yep, and Toby, your tip today by how much, and players to watch from either side?
I'm going to go a bit of a traditionalist. I'm going to go Port Melbourne. Different side.
I like it.
I'm sorry, Paul, but
no need to apologise.
I'm going the Borough. They're in need for a win. I think, like we said, their season might be on the line here. I'm going to go play to watch for Carlton. Maddie DeCosmo, number 20, running through the midfield. Was in the VAFA team of the year last year. Plays out at Marsland, Stafford's old club. I'm really looking forward to what she might be able to do, particularly across that half-back line. And
Katie, your tip by how much, and players to watch from either side?
I'm going to go Carlton by 15. I think they'll have too much in their locker when it's all said and done at the end of the day. And in terms of players to watch with Carlton, I'm going to go for Georgia Borg in the ruck to give her side first use of the ball. I think it's going to be really crucial today in these conditions especially. And I think I can't go past possibly Najali Borg, I think, for Port Melbourne. I think she had a decent crack last week, and they'll be relying on her to do it again.
Yep, I'll be tipping the Blues by a bee's diaphragm today. I think they'll get the job done by 2 points, I think. Yeah, play to watch Annie Lee for the Blues, and for the Borough, I think Kate Dudley in the ruck, she's going to be important. But without further ado, Brett Sternberg, get us underway for this round 4 clash.
Sunday morning football, Carlton and Port Melbourne, both teams need a win. It's Georgia Borg in the ruck and over it for the Blues. She couldn't come out there with clean possession. She's wrapped up Meg Mcdonald, and we'll do it all again. Sunday morning football, good to be with you from the fabulous Icon Park that's missing just about half the stadium. I'm going to call this stadium the home of women's football, the home of the match, of course, in 2017 that sparked a women's revolution as Thornycraft sends the Blues into attack. Here comes Nicoleu in the long sleeves. That's a good gather there by the young lady. Handball led astray a little bit. Diet back there for Port Melbourne. Handball looking for Barton. She's over the top of it. Stacks on the mill. And it looks like the Blues are going to get an early ball up. They're just letting it go, the umpire. Oh, really letting it go. And now we'll get a ball up 40 metres out. Carlton into attack early on.
Katie Lambeski, obviously, Milford up forward, right at the full forward for the Blues. She's going to be an integral part in this team today.
100%. They need to give her that service, need to give her those opportunities to put on a big score for Carlton today.
So from the ruck contest, Port Melbourne work it outside defensive 50. The switch is on here, and it is a pure 1v1, but Port are going to win out, dribbling the ball. But Brazzali on her hammer there, and trying to win possession was Hootsma. She couldn't win possession. Brazzali dispossessed her, but was wrapped up. Brazzali went in, laid a good tackle on her opponent. Umpire said it was play on. Brazzali went back in for a second effort. Boundary line beats them both there. And we'll have it tossed in. Half forward for the Blues. They're attacking towards this Legends stand end of the ground. We've travelled just over a minute and a half here at Icon Park. Neither team able to manufacture a score. But Toby, matchups that you've kept an eye on coming into this one, and what we look at here, obviously Milford up there at full forward, but for Port Melbourne at the moment,
even right down in their forward line, they're still playing man on man, very strongly structured.
The third matchup between these two teams, obviously Port Melbourne's second season in the competition. The Borough beat the Blues twice last season. Blues looking to turn the tables here. Sophie Locke is on ball here, trying to work it out to Bramage. Georgia Borg, the big ruck woman in there, throwing her weight around early on. Recruited to Carlton from the Box Hill Hawks. Looks like she's going to get a free kick as well, is she, for holding the ball right on centre wing. So here is one of the premier ruck women in the VFLW. Sends Carlton to half forward. Crunch over the top of the pack. Steph Lawrence. Handball forward. Good one. Goss. Here's Klingbeil onto it for the first time this morning. She's going to send it to half forward. Now here we go. It's Milford for Carlton. She's going to take that one away from goal. McWhinney comes across for the Borough. They've got the outnumber here, Port Melbourne. Looked like a throw, says Paul Sebastiani. Leave the umpiring to the umps, please, Paul. Carlton are just going to try and keep this clear. Thornycraft, I think that was, handballed it straight to Barton. Stripped of it by Milford. Play on, says the umpire. Good contest in the clinches early. Nicolau tries to back out. Might have been held on to. Holding the ball, said the umpire. Free kick, Port Melbourne. It's going to be taken deep in defence by Maddie Shaw.
So Shaw goes out wide. Finds her intended target. Little chip over the top is okay. Mark taken by Naily Borg for Port Melbourne. Halfback here out of side at Icon Park. She goes with a low darting ball. It's not the best kick. And it's been chopped off. Klingbeil was wrapped up as soon as she won possession of the football. Holding the ball. And the free kick will go the way of the Borough. And they can reload here off half back. So the kick up towards centre wing. Couple of targets there. Wilson got the fist. Borg for the Blues. Little handball inside was okay. Goss had it fisted away from her. De Cosmo in there for the Blues again. Handball to Thornycroft. Kick only went about 3 metres. Her target was Klingbeil. She wrapped up her opponent. Plenty of plays over this one, and we'll have a ball up just the attacking side of the centre square for the Blues. Again, neither team able to manufacture a score just yet. We've gone 4 minutes into this opening term. It'll be Borg to go up in the ruck. Ball fell the way there, and Nicolau. She was wrapped up as soon as she won possession. Got a little kick out towards half forward. Klingbeil laying a tackle for the Blues. Umpire called play on. Little handball back there by McDonald was okay. Good smother though. Sharp was let in for Carlton. Around the footies, Nicolau for the Blues. Plenty of plays over this one again. Around about 45 metres out from the Carlton goal. Umpire will come in, cross herself, and we'll have a ball up. Blues attacking towards this legend stand side of the ground.
Well, here we go. This is what we were talking about. The Blues getting inside 50s, but not creating any clear-cut chances at goal. Good work in there, in hard and tough by that Port Melbourne player. Barton to Hootsma. And the Borough looking to use the corridor. Georgia Borg has been fantastic early on. Handball, though, was nicked by Stutt. Finding a way through there was Hammonds, I think. A handball there to Thornycraft. Hurried kick down inside 50 and managing to just hang on to that football is Bridie Winbanks, former Casey Demon, who's parked herself behind the footy. Out to the broadcast wing. Not a bad kick. Beaten by the bounce, though, was Stella Reed. And can she halve this contest and get a ball up? No, she knocked it free. Lisa Davey, little kick around the corner. Off hands. Will Guild see that out? She will. Captain Ellie Build, and we'll get a ball in smack bang centre wing. Struggling a little bit in transition early on, Port Melbourne, Katie. They can't seem to get it past this centre wing position.
Bit of a stalemate early on so far, particularly at the half-back. Particularly Carlton at half forward, not able just to make that final 50, create that final chance. Need to tighten that up, but Port doing well to soak up some early pressure.
High pressure game already. 17 tackles within the first couple of minutes in this one.
Toby Hansen and Katie Lambeski doing fantastic work in the match analyst role. So from the throw-in, we'll get another restart here. Zampaglione underneath the ball there, held up.
Very good.
Thank you very much, man. That's why they pay me the big bucks today, Brent. From the ruck contest, it's Borg and Winbanks. Winbanks won the tap, but the Blues get the clearance inside forward 50. Klingbeil laying a good tackle. Ball sharked out by Hammonds. This kick's going to trickle, and go through for a goal. Charlotte Hammonds, opportunistic goal. Realised what the conditions were doing. Slippery one, and she dribbled that through. Very smart, very intelligent forward craft there, Katie Lambeski, and Carlton get there first of the day.
100%, and in these kind of conditions today, she played that perfectly. Really got it to ground. Really did well there. Massive moment for Carlton early on. They needed an early strike, and they've done very well to do that.
Charlotte Hammonds, goal number 3 for season 2022. And Ashley Thornycroft, she's up to 5 touches already in this opening 5 and a bit minutes. As Carlton, well, they were always going to score that first goal. Port Melbourne can't get past that centre circle, Paul.
Yeah, inside 50s, 4-zip for the Blue Baggers. And here they come out of the middle again. Borg beautifully down to Thornycraft. Kick's gone out to the wing. And now here comes the former Blue, Akayla Peterson. went to ground. That didn't help her cause. Port Melbourne player calling for a free kick. Jumped on there by Brazzali. The ball does come out. It's on the outer side. Manufacturing a kick out of there somehow was Peterson. Straight back to Thornycraft, who was dispossessed. Peterson goes back in to help out her teammate there, Elizabeth Wilson. Wrap up the poor old Carlton player in the middle of all of that, and it was Lauren Brazzali. We'll get a ball up on the outer side. Good start for the Blues. They've had plenty of the football, dominating the territory battle. And most importantly, of course, they got the first goal of the morning. And they might be able to come away with it here as well. That was Ingram, who just got a little handball to Thornycraft, who's been worried out of it by Caitlin O'Keefe. Both of those two go to battle on ground level, and we'll get a ball up on the outer wing.
So it is the Blues, 1 straight 6. Port Melbourne yet to score. We've gone nearly 8 minutes into this opening quarter. Borg won the tap down. Port Melbourne looked like they're going to win the clearance until Rosali laid a big tackle on her opponent, or it might have been Stramandinoli, I think it was. Yes, it was indeed. She's laid her first tackle of the day. So from the restart, it'll be Borg to do battle in the ruck again. She won front spot, won the tap, but it's going to be Port who win the clearance. Ball fell out the back. Annie Lee's there for Carlton. So's Wilson. Again, Port Melbourne win possession inside, forward 50, one way than the other. Kick around the body was okay. Port Melbourne look like they're going to win out here. Kick around the body from Stella Reed was okay. Into the path of Beth
well
Wilson.
done.
Really well done by the Blues defence. Handball over the top was all right. Annie Lee in there to clean up the mess for the baggers. They can clear it up towards half forward. 1-on-1. Ball got the front spot. Went over her head. She won possession. Did really well, but was wrapped up as soon as she won an umpire hovering. And we'll have it tossed up outside defensive 50 for the Blues. At half forward here for the Borough. They trail by 1 goal. We've gone 9 minutes into this opening turn. Borg won the tap. Clearance by Thornycroft. Up towards centre wing. Sharp had front spot. Had it well fisted away from her, but went in and laid a tackle. Almost a turnover for the Blues. Port Melbourne win it to the middle of the ground. Zampaglione's there for the Blues. Paddles it out in front of herself. Port Melbourne probably have the numbers here, though. Zampaglione got well thwarted off the football by her opponent. In there for the Borough was Windbanks, clearing it up towards full forward. Little snap around the body by Stella Reed. This might trickle through as well. It's trickling, and it has gone through. Stella Reed with a very intelligent snap from 35 metres out, and Port Melbourne level the scores up. 1 straight 6 each of 2. We've gone almost 10 minutes into this first quarter, and it's a carbon copy, Katie.
Just about unreal goal there by Stella Reed. Really got it onto boot there. I think that's the key today. It's tricky sort of conditions, wet underfoot. Just get it on the boot and go along as often as you can and force the issue there. Great response there by the Borough.
And Stella Reed, she almost had a chance to kick one probably 45 seconds early. She was out the back. Had they gotten their hands across to her, it would have been an early goal, but she's kicked the first one. Stella Reed, pick 5 of the 2021 AFLW draft. Obviously talent, and we have scores level.
Great young player is Stella Reed out of the Oakley Chargers, the Tigers' first pick. Of course, as Toby mentioned, that's her first VFLW goal. Look at Georgia Borg having a day out in the middle early on. Winning the clearance. Nicolaou's had a pretty good start as well. She goes to battle with Naily Borg and then turned it over. Hootsma. Oh, O'Keefe's going to have to go back and win that errant handball. She's got a little bit of time now. She'll take on Borg and win. Kick down towards the centre wing position. Lace out. Here comes Emily Harley. And that should be 50 metres. Play on, said the umpire. I think it's a 5 metre protected zone. Nicolaou went past about 2 metres. Well, play on. Ball into the middle. Here's Port Melbourne now. Oh, good smother on that kick. That come from Brazzali or Ingram it might have been. High ball from Port Melbourne towards half forward. Off hands. Abby Jordan just shovels one to the outer side. And here comes the runner for the Blues. It was Brazzali. Toe poke somehow. That'll work to Milford. Tried to get it back to Brazzali. This is good pressure by Port Melbourne to hold them up in the middle of the ground. And Port Melbourne, wow, holding the ball. There you go. Boy, they've been hot on that early on, Toby.
They have been. Just watch Georgia Borg run across the field, just playing that traditional ruck role, just moving alongside either side of the ground with the ball. And she's already had a couple contested possessions early in this first quarter.
So from the restart, Port Melbourne will get their free kick. Just the defensive side of the centre square. Darting ball up towards half forward. It's going to go over the top of the intended target. Blues look like they've got the numbers here. It's a 1-on-1 kick out wide. Port Melbourne trying to get this ball back inside forward 50. Really well done by Peterson, the former Blue. Kick up towards a hot spot's a good one. And coming out and taking the mark on the lead is Emily Harley, and she'll go back to line up the Borough's second. Nice forward craft from Emily Harley. Found the space, led to it, and she gets her first shot on goal. Katie?
Really well-read play there by Harley. Really, I think, gave some structure there. Port Melbourne did very well to go direct to her, so I think that's going to be a key to them, especially when conditions are like this.
So, Emily Harley. She'll line it up from around about 35 to 40 metres out. No real angle to speak of here. Kick is on the way. It's a good one, and it's going to sail through.
Oh.
So the first of the day for Emily Harley, and she gets the Borough second, and they get around her as well. The Borough go to 2 straight 12, Carlton 1 straight 6. Danger signs early for the Blues, maybe, Toby?
Maybe. Well, they're well and truly down in the possession. I just want to say that Port Melbourne have really controlled this game, but maybe Carlton's dominance in the first 90 or so seconds. Port Melbourne have come back into this game, and they're well and truly alive, Katie.
They've really responded well from that early goal. Really were able to get things back on their terms. They're controlling a lot more of possession and controlling more territory, controlling where the game is played. And I think at the moment it's on their terms, and it's a really strong, positive response there by the Borough.
Been a great fight back by Port Melbourne. Emily Harley, it's her first goal of the season. She was the club leading goal kicker last season, kicked 14 goals, 14. She's come from the bench as well. It's nicked there by Peterson. Here come the Borough again. Kick inside 50. Stutt dropped the mark, but her opponent fell over. Stutt gathered. Handball in the direction of Wilson, who was favoured by the bounce. Went on the outside of the boot. Too much bend. One behind, but all of a sudden Port Melbourne have their backs up. Just past the halfway mark of the opening quarter at Icon Park. It's the Borough 2-1-13 leading Carlton 1 straight 6. Here's Paul Sebastiani.
So it'll be Annie Lee to take the resulting kick in, as she usually does and has done for the Blues for the majority of this season. Wilson was her target, went over her head. Sharp for the Blues, trying to win possession. She puts the shepherd on,
Well done.
was smart. Little kick over the top by Cowan was okay. Her target there was Lawrence. She couldn't win possession. Laid a good tackle on her opponent, but the kick's going to work out. Mark taken by Wimbank. Smack bang here, centre wing at Icon Park, broadcast side of the stadium. Annie Lee leading the race for the football. They just bounced away from her. Gurr for the Blues, one way then the other. She's got Wilson for support. The kick come off hands though. Port Melbourne looked like they're going to win out. Coming through to meet it was Dyatt. She was besieged upon as soon as she won the football. Wilson in there for the Blues. Was thrown into that ruck contest earlier from the restart. So it'll be interesting to see if she maintains that position throughout the game. Ball here at half-back. Big tackle laid by Klingbeil. And the umpire's going to cross arms, and we'll have a ball up just inside the forward 50 for the Borough. They lead it by 7 points at the moment. We've gone 15 minutes into this opening quarter.
Port Melbourne into attack. Can they win this clearance? They will not. Klingbeil. Don't think that kick was looking for Abby Jordan, but it will find her, although she's had a couple of goes at picking it up and was then dispossessed by Peterson. Have another go at Klingbeil. That's better. And out to meet it, Paolo, is
Poppy Sharp.
Poppy Sharp. She'll come out to the broadcast wing. Looking for Hammonds, who kicked the opening goal in this contest. Couldn't take the mark. Should have been awarded a free kick for holding on. Nothing doing. Boy, there's Chloe Locke now. Kick the half forward. Coming across in front. Stella Reed takes a nice mark. Port Melbourne on the march again. Stella Reed, the left footed towards full forward. Wilson dropped the mark she probably should have taken. Still a chance. Locke. Can she break clear of the tackle? No. Boot to ball. Out into the pocket. In pursuit of this one for Port Melbourne. I reckon we've got a late change. I haven't got the number 24 on my list. Here's Peterson, who can steady and shank it a little bit off the hands there of Thornycraft and into the post, and it's another behind for the Borough. Have you got 24 on your list there,
Jessica
Pal?
Joyce.
There
Jessica
we
Joyce,
are.
Brent.
So Joyce was in the emergencies, so there has been a late change made by Port Melbourne. I'll try and find out who that was.
So Annie Lee, again, takes this resulting kick in. Her kick up towards half-back. Port Melbourne have got the numbers here, though, and good mark on the second attempt, O'Keefe, and she can reload the Borough. Kick up towards the hot spot, almost out the back, but a good mark taken by Mia Cowan. She's been involved early. Little handball out to Annie Lee, and she can try to reload the Blues back up towards half-back. 2-on-1 in favour of the Borough. Going out to meet the football for the Blues was Ingram. Weighted numbers wins out for Port Melbourne. Good tackle there laid by the Blues. Klingbeil's around the footy for Carlton. Kick forward, well fisted away by Annie Lee. Borough look like they're going to go back inside forward 50. Peterson with a kick. Her target there was Locke. She couldn't take possession. Kick around the body, I think, by Reed. It's not going to bounce through again, is it? No, across the face. And we will have a behind by the looks of it. Yeah, just snuck its way to the inside of the behind post and through for one behind. So the Borough 2-3-15. Carlton 1 straight 6. We're creeping towards quarter time here at Icon Park.
Sarah Dargan, I believe, to be the one for Port Melbourne who has not suited up today. Jessica Joyce, the late in as Carlton go short from the kick in. And it's now Carlton who don't have the ascendancy and are also in a little bit of trouble in defence. Not a great kick there for Abby Jordan. She's been sold up the river a couple of times across half-back. That was a drop kick from Hammonds. Bramage goes to work. Good win there by De Cosmo, blasting one to the middle of the ground. Borg, difficult one to mark. She did well, backed up quickly. Spirals one back inside 50. Difficult one there to mark. Locke couldn't quite get it. Oh, Stella Reed's handball that straight to the Carlton player. Kick to the outer side. Foot race. Look out. Who is it, Paul?
Zampaglione, best surname in the business. Her kick up towards the top of the square line. In pursuit. She's got a couple of metres on her opponent. She kicks off the ground, but it's to the near side. And through for one behind. So Blues nearly get the sucker punch there on the counter attack, but it is that one behind. So 1-1-7 for the Blues. Port Melbourne 2-3-15. You feel that that's the way they're going to try to win the game, Toby?
Yeah, I think so. The wet conditions really doesn't help, but they're losing the mark contest at the moment. It's 10-4 in way of the Borough.
So from the kick in, Port Melbourne go up towards half back. It's a long one. Out the back of the contest was Bramage. Though well done by Goss. She gets it back inside forward 50 for the Blues. Around about 45 metres out. I think Nicolau dived on top of the football there, but the umpire said she had it howled to her. And we'll have a ball up around about 45 metres out from the Blues goal. Borg and Dudley go up in the ruck. Good smother there by Goss on Bramage. Went back in to try to win the football. Bramage threw her body on the line head first. Umpire said it was all legal, crosses himself, and we'll have a ball up. 55 metres out from the Blues goal. They trail by 8 points. 1-1-7 plays the Borough 2-3-15. You're listening to Wharf Radio and joining in on the YouTube stream as well. Make sure you leave some live chat comments as well. We had plenty of those at Carlton Essendon game here last week, so we'll venture to get those mentioned. But here's Brent Sternberg.
Great rundown tackle there from Naily. Borg is rewarded holding the ball. Best on ground for the Borough last week was Naily. Right half back, down the line, Reed come across to provide the contest. Stutt out the back now. Can Port Melbourne catch the Blues here? Kick down towards half forward. It's De Cosmo and it's Jessica Joyce. De Cosmo with a head over the football. Won it cleanly. Good kick as well. That is great play by De Cosmo. And a mark taken here for the Blues. It's Wilson looking for the switch. The Baggers. They come all the way back here. Don't have much happening on the outer side. I think that was the captain Build who goes centrally to Ingram. Good play here from the Blues, just possessing the football, looking out towards Sharp, off her hands. Zampaglione, I think. I butchered that, I'm sorry, Paolo.
Well done.
Lost out there. McWhinney for Port Melbourne on the outer side. Run down from behind by Paolo's favourite. Nothing doing. Thought the ball jarred free. Now here's a chance for Peterson right on the quarter-time siren, and that siren's probably done her a favour because she was going to be outnumbered. Pretty good opening quarter here at Icon Park. Both teams have their moments in the, with the ascendancy, I should say. And at the first break here at Icon Park, it'll be Port Melbourne 2-3-15, leading the Blues 1-1-7. That's Port Melbourne by 8 points at quarter-time, Paolo.
It is indeed, yeah. A hotly contested first quarter as well. And we'll go through the goal kickers. Katie, you got him here. It's for the Borough and the Blues for both teams.
Absolutely. It is Port Melbourne going with goals from Emily Harley and Stella Reed. 2 goals to there. And for Carlton, it is Charlotte Hammonds with the first goal of this game as well.
And Toby, leading possession getters. And how have both teams fared in the statistical department?
Well, Paul Ashley Thornycroft leading the way, 7 touches, 7 disposals rather, in that first term for Port Melbourne. We've got Barton, Hootsma, McDonald, Peterson and Reed all with 5. As we get to the kicks there, Port Melbourne leading the way, 44-32 kicks. It's evenly split, 17 apiece with the handballs. And Carlton made their way back with the marking department. It's 10-7, still way Port Melbourne.
Lovely work there. And with that, we'll take a quick break here at Icon Park. It is the Port Melbourne Borough leading at 2-3-15 to the Blues 1-1-7. You're listening to this VFLW Round 4 match of the day between Carlton and Port Melbourne. We'll be back right after this.
What do you listen to while you're waiting for the next VFLW game on Wharf Radio? Do you long for the days when radio stations played music that you knew without being constantly bombarded with ads and by announcers who want to make it about themselves and not about the music? Welcome to GoRadio.live. We're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, playing the very best music of the past 70 years. You can listen at www.goradio.live goradio.live, or better still, download the free goradio.live app for your Apple or Android device. goradio.live. It's radio as it should be.
Life can be really tough when you or a close family member has cancer. But if you're 12 to 25, Canteen's in your corner. Canteen provides whatever practical and emotional support you need, from connecting you with other young people who get what you're going through, to helping you develop new skills to cope, and just bringing back some fun into your world. So if cancer's messing with your life, check out canteen.org.au. And remember, Canteen's in your corner.
If you've had something stolen,
or if you've had property damaged, you need the police, not the sirens. If you've lost something or found something valuable,
or if you want to register a party or let us know you're going away on holiday, you need the police, not the sirens.
When you need the police, but not the sirens, you can now report these incidents online at police.vic.gov.au or call 131 444.
Authorised by the Victorian Government, Melbourne.
No matter what your age, most of us played sport when we were young, and there was always one thing that made you want to disappear into the corner or even give up your chosen sport. And that was when somebody on the sideline hurled abuse at either you or a teammate or an official. These are things that make sport so painful for so many kids, and the time has come to stop it. I'm Usman Khawaja from the Australian cricket team. My message is a simple one. Let kids be kids. Let them enjoy their sport. Find out more at playbytherules.net.au.
It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
Here at Icon Park, it's the VFLW Round 4 clash between the Blues and the Borough. So far it is the visitors, the Borough, leading the Blues 2-3-15 to Carlton 1-1-7. You're listening to 90.1 FM. Tune in at the ground if you're on the radio dial. And thanks for those joining in on the YouTube stream as well. Make sure you leave some comments and any questions or opinions you've got on the game as well, or anything for that matter regarding VFL and AFLW. So without further ado, Brent, the Borough looking dangerous in that second half of the first term.
They started slow, didn't they? Struggled to get their hands on the ball a little bit. Carlton sort of hemmed them in their own forward line. Didn't get much of their transitional play. But after about the sort of 10, 11-minute mark, it completely changed that quarter. I think Port Melbourne, Katie, will be very happy. We spoke about a lot of their big-name players that come back in. And if you have a look down the stat sheet, they're all getting their hands on the football. Kayla Peterson had 5 possessions. Nayli Borg's been in the team. We know she's had 4. Courtney Bramage has had a bit of it. Claire Dyatt. Last week against Geelong, Port Melbourne were minus 90 in disposals.
Sheesh.
They've smashed Carlton in that first quarter, plus nearly 22 disposals. So that's a great start around the footy for the Borough.
Absolutely. And I think in terms of that, they've just structured up really well. I think some of the marks that they've taken has given them a real focal point to build on, give themselves, first use of the ball. I think, speaking of that first use, Bridie Max has won 4 hit-outs as well, so that's sort of helped in the ruck as well. They've done really well. They've done really well to get their hands on the footy. They had a bit of a rough start, but they've worked themselves really well into this game.
Jono, have we got you down there on the boundary?
Yes, I was just in the Port Melbourne huddle. Sean Munkle really happy with the works that the mids are doing. A couple of things I walked in to just figure out that Sarah Duggan was pulled out by Richmond. It was a Richmond-related fitness issue, and it's light rain down here. It's not too bad. But
I was just going to say, it looks like it's trickling down there. You need an umbrella?
No, I don't. I've got the I've actually got the umpires bench just to be under. So of course, if you've been looking for me and can't find me, that's where I am. The other thing too is Port were really keen to just drill in that very simple message, just to make sure that when the ball's on the ground, you still try your best to get it forward. Slippery conditions mean ball goes to ground, you just got to kick it as far as you can down and make use of those one-on-one contests and score a heap of goals.
Fantastic work down there on the boundary, Jono. We'll be sure to get to you in patches throughout this second term. But both teams making their way to their respective positions. It'll be Port Melbourne going towards its Legend Stand end of the stadium, and Carlton going towards the Royal Parade end of the ground, towards this construction facility. But Brett Sternberg, get us underway for second quarter action here at Icon Park. It's the Borough leading it by 8 points.
Just about set to go. Well, I think they were actually held up because Jono dropped, I think, one of his pens or something. He had to go back out to centre wing to pick it up.
I'd hate to tell you what it was, Brent, but it's been the subject of the morning.
Oh, no way, Jono. You're kidding. Oh, dear. Second quarter underway. Georgia Borg, who was one of the most influential players in that first quarter, won it down. Hootsma on debut, though, for the Borough will send it forward. Annie Lee spilt the mark. Stella Reed wrapped her up. Did well, Annie Lee, to get her hands free and get a handball away. Carlton will head towards that outer side, but they've turned it over, and here is Meg Mcdonald. Casey Demon last year and then picked up by the Tigers late on. Comes back to play in the VFLW today. Pops one inside 50. Can they find a mark? No. It'll bounce over the pack. Wilson has to be good here because Bramage, well, bumped when she probably should have tackled. Handball on there to Thornycraft, who had 7 disposals in that quarter. Disposal number 8 will trickle out of play. Port Melbourne will take over via the lasso rule, my favourite rule in world sports, and Claire Dyatt will bring it in.
So Dyatt, she's got a leading lane to potentially kick into. She goes in that direction. Thornycroft under the ball for the Blues, well fisted away by De Cosmo. Harley in there for Port Melbourne as well, but the boundary line beats them both. And we'll have it tossed in just inside the Borough's forward 50. They lead at 2-3-15 to the Blues 1-1-7. Travelled just over a minute here into this second term, and not a bad crowd as well building up there in the old Legends stand. Probably about, I'd say, maybe 100 odd people that have crawled into Icon Park.
Throw in. Jeez.
So yeah, there's a massive throw in there. It's probably one of the longest ones we've seen. Usually the umpires take about 20 metre steps in, but from the contest, Bramage won it forward. Wilson paddled it out in front of her. Gurr was there for the Blues, so was Bramage. She's settling over the top of the football. McDonald there for the Borough as well. The ball's won out by Goss, though. Kick up towards half-back. Fell out the back. Lawrence was there for Carlton. Came off hands. Dyatt pumped it back up towards the hotspot. Couple of one-on-ones. Good fist away there by the Blues defender in the lead. Great tackle as well on Isabella Stutt. Umpire didn't reward her, though, but we'll get a ball up. We're at about 30 metres out from the Borough goal. They lead it by 8 points.
Promising young player, Annie Lee, isn't she? She played rounds 1, 2 and 3 in the AFLW level. Back at VFL today, and here she is applying another tackle on one of the goal kickers in that opening term. Stella Reed, one of only, well, I was going to say 4 Richmond AFLW listed players, but not with Sarah Dargan being withdrawn. Flashing through there for the Blues was Nadia Moore. She's turned it over. Mark taken by McDonald, centering kick, good kick.
Smart.
Sophie Locke took the mark, thought about playing on, then thought against playing on. That was the right decision, Sophie. Well done. She'll line up pretty much right in front, I reckon 30 metres out.
Exactly where you want Sophie Locke, really across that dangerous deep forward position, half forward position. A key player coming into this, and she'll go for the kick.
2 goals, 3 on the season. Oh, and she's just missed to the right-hand side, and Sophie, she knows that she's missed one that she would normally kick. Been a fantastic player since coming in from the Murray Bushrangers. And the great season that they had, Port Melbourne last year, Sophie Locke, the only VFLW Team of the Year member. So behind early on for Port Melbourne, stretches the lead to 9 points.
So Annie Lee thumps this one back outside forward 50. Hammond's had front spot, so did Borg. Borg went in there to lay a tackle on her opponent, and the umpire is going to call for a ball up 60 metres out from the Borough goal. On top in this one so far. This ruck battle has been fascinating. Winbags and Borg. She's up against Kate Dudley as well. So the Borough with a duo in the ruck, and the clearing kick from O'Keefe goes inside forward 50 for the Borough. Harley's been lively early. Handball was okay. They got a little bit of time and space here though. De Cosmo did well. Tap out though. I think just got her opponent high. Yep, and it's going to be a free kick to the Borough. So pumping them back inside forward 50 will be Hootsma. Goes to about 35 metres out. Couple of plays go up for the footy. Winning possession of the ball was Sophie Locke. Good tackle by Annie Lee. Lauren Brazzali's in there for the Blues as well. She lays a good tackle on her opponent as well. Ball spills out. Little handball was okay. Snap kick towards the top of the goal square. Good fist away from Wilson. Well done defensively, and we'll have it tossed in around about 15 metres out from the Borough goal. They still lead it by 8 points. Neither team still they're in front by 8 points. Is the 9 points, sorry. I've got to get me maths right there. Wasn't a strong suit for me, Brent.
No, that's okay, Paolo.
2-4-16 to 1-1-7.
Nothing was my strong suit except recess at school. Got it in the forward 50 here, the Borough. O'Keefe handballing out into space. Lee and Reed, well, they just looked at each other, and then O'Keefe went and won it again, high up and under, over the head of Elizabeth Wilson. bouncing ball out of play. And we've got another boundary throw in deep in attack for Port Melbourne. Good little spell here for the Borough. The Legends stand end of the ground to which they are attacking in quarter number 2. We know what an important morning this is for this footy club. They need a win. Staring down the barrel of an 0-4 start, and I'm not sure there'll be any coming back from that. Here's Borg. Won it from the throw-in. Hootsma on debut's been fantastic. High up and under. Peterson has to stand under it. Probably should have got the free kick for front-on contact. No whistle. There's a kick from Thornycroft. It's gone wide. Knocking it straight to the boundary was Hootsma. The umpire says, please throw that football in 55 around from Port Melbourne's goal at right half forward.
Going around the grounds just briefly, it's Darebin 117 to North yet to score. In fact, there's also Emma Mackay 117 to North yet to score in the second quarter, 5 minutes gone.
Very good work, Jono. And conditions, is it still misty and rainy down there?
Rain's gone for the moment.
There we go. So still slippery conditions though, but from the restart, the Borough win the clearance. Hootsma's been involved everywhere in this second term, and Harley just bumped off the football there for the Borough. And the boundary line will beat them all, and we'll have it tossed in. Scores 2-4-16, Port Melbourne. Carlton 1-1-7. We've gone nearly 6 minutes into this second term. It'll be Borg and Winbanks to do battle in the ruck. Listening, an integral battle in the scheme of things for this game. Borg trying to win front spot. Winbanks did well, tapped it towards goal. Blues do okay defensively. Coming through to meet it there was Moore. Zampaglione was over the football for the Blues. But the Borough win out, little handball out, not the best, and it's holding the ball. Good tackle. And the free kick will go the way of Zampaglione. She's deep inside defensive 50, but now the Blues can clear.
And they could run here through Annie Lee. She needs a good bounce, though. 2 Port Melbourne players closing, and Sophie Locke crunched her. And the umpire said, holding on. And Sophie Locke is a little bit sore. She's going to stand the mark when she gets up, if she gets up, and the umpire wisely has actually called time off as Sophie Locke is in a little bit of trouble, and the trainer will come out. Might have a couple of sore ribs in there, I reckon, Sophie. She's okay. Oh, she's stretching one arm up.
Time's not going to stop in the except in the event of a double whistle, but when Sophie comes off, I'll just let you know the condition.
Annie Lee to take the free kick for holding on. Short she comes to Sarah Ingram on the back foot in the early stages here, quarter number 2. The Blues are looking to just possess the football perhaps. That's not a great kick. Should have marked that one, Peterson, but the second effort was good. Wrapped up by a couple of Blues. Taken high by one of them. Here come the Borough, and they are out. O'Keefe, goal side, look out. They've got to Wilson and Stutt. Wilson will leave it for Stutt, and Isabella Stutts into an open goal. And you could see that happening from the moment they won the footy. Port Melbourne, Carlton had no one back. They've been caught out a couple of times today already. And Isabella Stutt kicks the easiest of goals for Port Melbourne, and they've skipped out to a handy little lead, the Borough. They lead now by, that will be 15 points. Katie Lambeski.
Been an outstanding quarter so far from Port Melbourne. I've had it once again on their terms, controlling where the game is played, really putting on that pressure with repeat inside 50 entries, and ultimately they need to make use of that with goals on the board, and that's a really good way to do it. And the way Port Melbourne is set up behind the footy, they've got essentially 2 lines of 4, so a great wall of red and blue. And then in front of the football, they've got 2 or 3 players always standing guard. And that's the way Isabella Stutt could jump out the back and get that goal for Port Melbourne. Katie Lambeski and Toby Hansen on these special comments here, Wharf Radio, as we get back underway. Looks like we're going to have a stoppage. We are indeed. Secondary ball up inside the middle of Icon Park. 3-4-22 the Borough. Carlton 1-1-7. So from the restart, again the umpire crosses himself, and we'll have yet another ball up. Borg been an important player on the ground so far, Katie. She's been fantastic this year, averaging 30 hit-outs a game. 100%. She just gives that first year. She's so important into the way that the Blues set up, and of course she gets around the ground really well as well. So she's laid a few tackles today, really setting a tone for her teammates, but her teammates just can't quite read off her work at the moment. So little handball out by Goss was okay. She found her intended target, and that was Abby Jordan. The kick out wide's okay. Build. Captain for the Blues. She studies and surveys her options here at half back. Kick is okay as well. Klingbeil on a lead, marks in front of her opponent. So Blues with a steady approach. They're going to go up towards half forward. Thumping kick by Klingbeil. Milford's the target. Had it well fisted away from her. It was Lawrence rather. She went back in, laid a good tackle. And the umpire will ball it up around about 60 metres out from the Carlton goal.
yet to score in this second term. It's been all one-way traffic at the moment. The Borough with a handy little lead, 3-4-22 plays 1-1-7. From the restart, good tackle laid by Sharp. Probably just hasn't been a game played in her favour at the moment. She was lively against the Southern Saints a couple of weeks ago. She's been thrown on the ball here now for the Blues. Wilson in the ruck. Winning the tap, though, for the Borough was Dudley. But the umpire's hovering around this one. No genuine attempt. He was going to call holding the ball, but Goss wins the clearance up towards Milford. May have been pushed in the back. Klingbeil out the back. She's got time and space. She snaps it up towards goal. It's going to go across the face, though, and go through for one behind. So the Blues get their first score of the second term. It's a behind. They go to 1-2-8. Port Melbourne 3-4-22. We've travelled 10 and a half minutes into this second term.
Can't question the appetite from the Blues. Plus 14 in tackles. Their pressure has been pretty good. Port Melbourne just been a little bit more clinical from the stoppages, despite that dominance from Georgia Borg. Utsma there couldn't quite take the mark from the kick in. Putting her head over the football, Meg Mcdonald. Played it really well. Back to Hootsma, who's now the leading disposal getter on the ground. That kick a little bit too much there for Borg. Ingram tried to go off the ground and got nothing on it. To Cosmo. Oh, Hamble looking for a teammate who was crunched by Bramage. Carlton will have a free kick. Just right on centre wing. Sorry, Jono.
Just right in front of us. You can probably see Sophie Locke involved in that contest. She only had a brief spell on the bench. She's good to go.
Good stuff, Jono. Carlton move it out wide here. It's Lily Goss. Carlton going inside forward 50. There's a lot of red and blue in there. Oh, and it was off hands, and then the umpire didn't see it and paid the mark. Chloe Locke played on.
I think he's called a push. I think it's going to Hammonds.
Right, so the whistle was not for the mark. It was for a free kick. Paul Sebastiani all over it. So
hot on it, mate. Hot on it.
So Charlotte Hammonds, who kicked the opening goal of the morning. And the Baggers could do with one here. About a 45-degree angle. Charlotte will kick from all of 40 metres out. Starts it out to the right, and that's where it'll stay. Got good purchase on the kick. Accuracy was the question, unfortunately. So 1-1 for Charlotte Hammonds. Carlton moved to 1-3-9, trailing Port Melbourne 3-4-22, 12 and a bit minutes gone in quarter number 2.
So Port Melbourne hurrying this one outside, defeats here 50, but a good intercepting mark by the Blues captain in Bill. Carlton looking to lock this inside their forward half. So Build with a purposeful kick, not the best of kicks. Milford had to beat about 3. Got the fist in though. She might cause a stoppage. She
well
does.
Done by Milford. Brilliant.
Well, she was outnumbered 3-1 there, and she's caused a stoppage inside forward 50, and the Blues can lock it in, reload again.
Exactly what you need from your forward. Give that structure, give that presentation. Really, if you can't win your contest, at least get it 50-50, at least force a stoppage, and really well played there.
She's going to be a dangerous target if the Blues can get her free. Sharp around the football for the Blues. So was Jordan, just dropping the ball at a critical stage and slipping over as she tried to step around her opponent was Ingram. Unfortunate, but holding the ball either way. And the free kick will go the way of Meg Mcdonald. She's at half-back here for the Borough.
This will be disposal number 11 for Meg Mcdonald. She's been sensational in the opening half. A Tiger kick towards the wing, looking for the goal kicker. Stut. Got one hand to it. Good work there by the Carlton player. That was Gert. Off the boot of Dudley. It might come back here to Cosmo on hands and knees. Looking to get the handball there to Mia Cowan, who knocked it clear. Here come Carlton. Jordan, nice looking kick just over the head of Milford. Sharp won't be able to get there. Klingbeil to Milford. Milford can give it to Sharp, but well done there by the Port Melbourne defence. That was Lisa Davey, I think, who knocked it down. It was. Kicking towards the outer side. Not out of trouble yet, though, Port Melbourne. Jordan won the foot race into the middle where Carlton have all the numbers. Brazali, long one to full forward. Looking towards Milford again, I think. Dropping the mark. In fact, that might have been Steph Lawrence, who just got boot to ball. Milford and Dudley go at it now at half forward, or full forward, I should say, for the Blues. This is great pressure by Carlton, but the numbers will win out. Borg gave it to Barton. Barton's kicks looking to this near side, looking for O'Keefe, but great effort back there with the flight there by Build. She did that brilliantly. Gave it off to her teammate there at Stramondinoli. Kick out into the pocket. Dudley parked behind it. Takes an important defensive mark for Port Melbourne in the left back pocket, but Carlton are lifting.
So Blues amping up the pressure here. They've turned it up a notch, but not able to put it on the scoreboard just yet. Meg Mcdonald, she's had a stack of the foot. It's a lovely kick inside as well on the 45. Chloe Locke takes the mark. Sharp stands the mark. Handball, not the greatest of handballs. Back to Chloe Locke. Sharp putting them under the pump. Kick up towards the middle. It's a dangerous one. Blues have got the numbers. Wilson out the back, just bounced away from her. She's got time to give a handball to Zampaglione. She wheels around on the right boot. Kick.
Look out.
Look out. Jeez. Courageous there from Lily Goss. Did it well. Being wrapped up as soon as she won the footy was billed. Good defensive acts here by the Borough. They're under the cosh at the moment. O'Keefe will take the resulting free kick. Here at halfback for Port Melbourne. She's got a couple of targets, and one of those in particular is Olivia Barton. So Olivia Barton, she's averaged 14 possessions a game this year. Lawrence stands her mark. Barton with a short, low, little darting ball. It's okay, geez, it went over the head of her target. Wilson there to mop up the mess for the Blues. Look out. Just got the handball away. Stremon Donoli got a little handball back there towards Moore. She got wrapped up as soon as she won the football. Borough putting them under a huge amount of pressure. A little kick forward was okay. Boundary line might beat them. I think it was Peterson for the Borough. She saw it over the boundary line, but it's going to be the resulting free kick going the way of the Borough. Gurr come off her foot last, and it'll be a Kayla Peterson to take this free kick. The Borough looking to go inside forward 50.
Boy, we've got a good game here at Icon Park. Port Melbourne lead by 13 points. Peterson sends them inside 50. It's a floater, and Emily Harley in front clunked at one grab. Difficult one to mark. It was barely spinning as it come in. But Harley, who's had a look at the sticks already once today, kicked a goal in fact. She'll line up for her second, and this is an important kick as we head towards the final 5 minutes to play in the second quarter here at Icon Park.
Second or third time Hurley's pulled something out of nothing with a scrappy kick going inside for the former Oakley Chargers vice captain.
And in the leadership group this year as well at the Borough. Kicks off a couple of steps. That looks pretty good. It's just drifted late. Looked good off the boot, didn't it? Just missing to the left-hand side. Another behind to the Borough. 3-5-23. They are now leading Carlton 1-3-9. And the margin will be 14 points. Port Melbourne lead. 16.5 gone. Closing in on half-time. Carlton could do with a late one, Paolo.
They could indeed. And they're going to try to do it up the middle here. Taking the mark for the Blues is Nicolau. And here they go out the back. Ooh. Maybe Port Melbourne let in here, though. Really well done. They do well defensively. And the Blues do well to lock it up. Thornycroft in there as well for Carlton. And the umpire will toss it up. Wilson being thrown into the ruck now for the Blues. We've seen a bit of that over the last couple of weeks. Thornycroft taking eyes. You'll get a free kick. Just the defensive side of the wing here. Maybe the switch is on. Hammonds. Thornycroft was thinking about it. She took a bounce in the wet conditions. Not ideal, and she's gone. She is gone. So the quick kick forward up by the Borough. Leading the run for the football is Mia Cowan. It's trickling towards goal. It's probably going to go through for a behind. It is indeed. Takes a conservative option, taps it through for a behind, and the Borough go to 3-6-24. The Blues 1-3-9. And Katie, you just got to know the conditions there. Not ideal taking a bounce. You just got to gain territory.
Absolutely. Get it on your boot if you're ever in doubt. And this is where Port Melbourne continue to have the answers to whatever Carlton have thrown at them so far. It's just been able to erase their momentum and get forward of their own. It's a really well-earned lead for Port Melbourne so far.
Gurr from the kick-in was interesting. She didn't bounce it. She touched it on the ground. She's learned from her teammates' mistakes. Kick down the line for Carlton. Good mark there, Zoe McWhinney, who looks like she's got the job on image at Milford, and she's done pretty well. That kick's clean bowled about 10 players. Worked its way inside 50 for Port Melbourne. Ingram couldn't pick it up. Spinning out of trouble, Joyce. Bramage threw that one to Stutt. Stutt turned onto the boot and kicked it behind. Oh, a little bit lucky there. I reckon Bramage was a two-handed throw there, Paolo. Another behind for the Borough. They move along to 3-7-25, leading Carlton 1-3-9. So that'll make it it'll be a 16-point margin. Carlton to bring it back in, and they look like they're going to bring it to the broadcast side this time, Paul.
So Brianna Gurr, she's looking for options further afield. Kicks a wobbly one. Borough got the numbers under this one. Dropping a chest mark was Meg Mcdonald. She went back in to try to win the football. Around the footy for the Borough is O'Keefe. Being wrapped up was De Cosmo, and we'll have a ball up here at half-back for the Blues. They've only managed a goal in this one so far. Creeping very, very closely towards half-time. Wilson won the tap. De Cosmo in there for Carlton. Thornycroft for the Blues. Snapping kick up towards centre wing. This is going to go out of bounds, and it'll be a free kick going the way of the Borough. And that free kick will go the way of Olivia Barton. Starting to get involved in this second term. She's right on the interchange gate. Broadcast side here at Icon Park. Only seconds to go to half-time. She steps in and plays on. She thumps this one up towards half forward. Blues have got prime position here.
Well done.
That player is Charlotte Wilson coming across into the gap, and she takes the uncontested mark here at halfback for the Blues.
Playing a very important role, as you've mentioned, playing in the ruck today, going against the 2 or 3 big women that Port Melbourne have, the 3 rotation there, the Trident, Hammonds into the middle to, it was a good-looking kick. It was an aggressive kick. It hasn't quite paid off. Ingram was outmarked by Maddie Shaw, and Port Melbourne look like they're happy to maybe shut things down, although Shaw then plays on and goes central in. We'll find Courtney Bramage. One last roll of the dice here for Port Melbourne. Bramage to full forward, coming out of the goal square. Wilson beaten by the bounce. Gurr back there for the Blues, about to be caught in the goal square, dropped it. Carlton have to concede here. It's about 2 metres out from goal. Looks like we may get a ball up. No, it has come out. And a behind right on the siren. Well, they got the job done in the end, the Blues, killing that contest and seeing it through for a minor score. Another one. So in that quarter, Port Melbourne, 1 goal. I think it's going to be 1 goal 5 in that second term. Carlton, just the 2 behinds. That could have been a lot worse, Paul.
It could have been a lot worse, but Carlton had the ascendancy early in that second term. Just thought they got the ascendancy in the middle of that second term, but were just unable to hit the scoreboard. And Katie, Port Melbourne peppering away at the goals, but just unable to capitalise. And I hate to say, but they could very well have put that game to bed.
Exactly. 1 or 2 chances go the other way. They're in a really commanding lead, and Carlton, the door is just slightly open for them, but I think on the balance of things, it's a well-earned lead for Port Melbourne. I think Carlton are very much in the contest, but Port have just been able to have that momentum. They've just been able to make better use of it, and it's given them the well-deserved advantage at the break.
And Toby, where do you think the Blues sort of need to improve to get their bigger forwards in the game? Milford been kept quiet, but the midfield have not really been dominant as they were for patches against the Bombers last week. They were able to match it with one of the best midfields in the VFLW competition, but the Borough midfield on top of the moment, you'd say.
Yeah, well, they're structurally not very sound, Carlton, in this first half of football. You just see Port Melbourne. Every time the ball spills out of their forward 50, it's sent straight back in pretty much. And Carlton, well, they're not really clean with the ball either. I think you can put that down to the wet weather. But Port Melbourne, every time they get the football, it just looks and feels like they have so much time.
Yeah, this is really intriguing too. Carlton players in a huddle here at centre wing before they go back into their rooms. Jono, down there on the boundary, you got us up here?
I do indeed. Yeah, it's interesting because Port have just come in. I think, perhaps it's interesting how well the weather just seems to inconveniently pick up at the wrong time. So I don't know if this is maybe, well, I wouldn't say punishment, but it's just interesting to see how they're still out there. But they have broken ranks, and in the come, it's interesting to see as well. And I think this might be a factor to the margin that Port have over the Blues at the moment. It's good to see that Mel Kais is on the bench with the headset on, doing a fair bit of work on the sideline, which is great to see. So I reckon Port looks to probably continue this momentum and might take the chocolates at the end of the game.
Fantastic, Jono. Any injury news to report as well, or all a clean bill of health?
It's all good. Sophie Locke dropped to her knees, looked in a very bad way when she came off the field after copping that knock there. But, she looked like it she looked like it never happened when she came back out onto the field. She's been playing well since then, and,
Thanks very much, Jono. We'll be sure to venture down to you there throughout the second half as well, and make sure you rug up, mate. It's a cold one.
No, it's not too bad, but thanks for the advice anyway, Paul. I appreciate it.
Just as the players leave the field, the sun breaks through, of course.
Typical Melbourne day here at Icon Park. We'll take the halftime break here on Wharf Radio. Make sure you tune into the YouTube stream as well. 90.1 FM if you're at the ground. It's the Borough leading at 26, the Blues 9. We'll be back right after this.
If you're after the most comprehensive coverage on women's football across Australia, then look no further than Rookie Me Central. Formerly Draft Central, Rookie Me Central has news and reviews, podcasts, videos, and much, much more on all the state leagues across the country, including the VFL Women's and NAB League Girls. Find out why everyone turns to Rookie Me Central for their women's football content. Follow Rookie Me Central on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rookie Me Central.
No business wants to throw money away, but did you know sending resources to landfill can be more expensive than recycling them? Planet Ark's free business recycling service can kickstart your workplace recycling journey, help you find the right recycling solutions and give you a competitive edge. Join the 1 million Australians using business recycling to keep valuable resources in circulation. Visit businessrecycling.com.au. It's just good business.
Oh, hi, I'm Maria from Sesame Street.
And Elmo's Elmo.
And we're here to talk about driveways. Driveways can be dangerous for children.
Or little red monsters.
So it's important for parents to always watch their children around them.
Yeah, driveways are for cars, not for play.
That's right, Elmo. Play only in safe places away from driveways because people in cars may not see you.
Elmo sees you, Maria. Tag, you're out.
Oh, here I come, Elmo. Remember, driveways are like roads. Always supervise, separate, and see. Learn more at kidsafevic.com.au.
How often should you wash your hands?
Maybe around 9 times a day. 4?
Like 20?
Maybe twice a day.
Whenever they feel dirty. When should you wash your hands?
After you touch some raw meat and before starting to eat. At the beginning, I wash my hands before preparing food.
How would you rate your knowledge of food safety?
Probably like an 8 out of 10. 6 or 7.
7.5? Learn more at foodsafety.asn.au/food safety training. Food safety, it's in your hands.
Hey.
Hi.
Yo, what's up? We're here for RAD. Here's a simple word of advice.
Don't drink and drive.
If you plan to drink, plan ahead.
Give up the keys.
Either drink or drive. Don't mess around trying to do both.
When you drink and drive, you're risking the life of yourself and the lives of everybody on the road.
It takes a lot of courage to convince a friend not to drive after they've been drinking, but you might just be saving their life.
So if you plan to drink, plan not to drive.
The average person spends 44 minutes a day thinking about food. At Oz Harvest, thinking about food is a full-time job because we're always looking for new ways to nourish our country and combat food waste and hunger. Every day, we rescue quality surplus food across Australia and deliver it to those who'd otherwise go hungry. And you can help. Every dollar donated to Oz Harvest can provide 2 meals to people in need. Visit ozharvest.org. Thought for food.
Been playing for a while, sweet kicks, 'cause footy makes you smile, sweet kicks football. If you're getting ready for the trials, gotta go the extra mile, sweet kicks football.
Not always hearing that sweet sound when you kick the ball? Need to develop your footwork or explosive speed? Want to take the next step in your footy career? Then you need Sweet Kicks. More info on our Facebook page or go to our website, sweetkicksfootballacademy.com.au.
Gotta go the extra mile, sweet kicks football.
Even when everything is going great, the black dog of depression can sneak up on you. You're not alone. 1 in 7 Australians are feeling just like you. But there is hope available. The Black Dog Institute provides information on diagnosis, treatment and prevention of mental illnesses like depression, bipolar disorder and anxiety. If the black dog is hounding you, visit blackdoginstitute.org.au for real help and support. Black Dog Institute, putting health in mind.
Storms are Australia's most costly natural disaster. Getting prepared now is the best way to protect people and to minimise damage to your property. Keep your gutters, downpipes and drains clear and stash any loose items in yards or on balconies. Trim any trees and branches hanging too close to your house and keep your roof in good repair. For emergency help, call the SES on 132 500.
Stroke can happen to anybody at any age. The best way to help someone is to learn the signs of stroke and know how to act fast. F is for face. Has their face drooped? A is for arms. Can they lift both arms? S is for speech. Is their speech slurred? Do they understand you? T is for time. Call 000. Time is critical. If you see any of these symptoms, act fast. Learn the signs of stroke and you could save a life. Go to strokefoundation.org.au/fast to find out more.
G'day, I'm Michael Caton. The Australian Conservation Foundation's Green Home program is all about saving our environment. A low-flow shower head will save 10 litres. No showering at all will save 20. So when any of my active friends are a bit on the nose, I never judge them, but thank them for doing their bit to save water.
For more information, go to www.acfonline.org.au/greenhome and take action for our future generations. That's acfonline.org.au/greenhome.
What do you listen to while you're waiting for the next VFLW game on Wharf Radio? Do you long for the days when radio stations played music that you knew without being constantly bombarded with ads and by announcers who want to make it about themselves and not about the music? Welcome to GoRadio.live. We're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, playing the very best music of the past 70 years. You can listen at www.goradio.live, or better still, download the free GoRadio.live app for your Apple or Android device. GoRadio.live. It's radio as it should be.
It's women's Aussie rules. They're doing what they love. They're fast, they're tough. Don't mess with them because they can get rough. Are you ready for the challenge? Are you ready for the match? It's the call of the game. It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day. It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
Here on 90.1 FM Wharf Radio, it is indeed the VFLW Match of the Day here, round 4, Carlton versus Port Melbourne here at Icon Park. It is Port Melbourne leading it comfortably here at half-time at the moment, but joined by Brent Sternberg, Katie Lambeski on the special comments as well, and Toby Hansen, John O'Ven down on the boundary too, but both teams yet to make their way out onto Icon Park for the second half as the umpires make their way out, but goal kickers to half-time, Mr. Sternberg.
Yes, 3 for the Borough. Emily Harley, Stella Reed and Isabel Stutt. One of those goals coming in that third term to Isabella Stutt, and the one goal for the Blue Baggers. It is Charlotte Hammonds who kicked the opening goal of the game. So 3 goals since then for Port Melbourne. They've opened up a reasonably handy 17-point lead. It probably doesn't feel that big of a lead because of how the game has transpired, Katie, through the first, 40 minutes. But it's been a good game. It really started to open up in that second term.
It did. Both sides just started to go a bit more direct. They went longer, went more to the contest, kept things open. I think it made things a little bit more end-to-end as it got on. I think that suited Port a little bit more, who were able to seize that momentum, I think, throughout most of that second quarter. And they're gonna need to build on that if they're going to bring this home. Carlton need to find a few more contributors. They need more, particularly from Lauren Batali. I think he's only had one touch to this so far. So they need more. They need more if they're going to get over the line today.
It has been the tale a little bit of two teams, hasn't it? When Port Melbourne have had the ascendancy, they've hit the scoreboard, albeit inaccurately, 11 scoring shots, 3 goals, 8. Carlton haven't. And we spoke about that in the pre-game. They need to make better opportunities when they go inside 50, and they haven't done it in the first half here at Icon Park.
Yep, at the moment, around the grounds too. Well, just a quick little score update from Arden Street. It is Darebin in front, 139. Ooh. North Melbourne, 1 behind, 1 point. They're struggling for a win at the moment, North Melbourne, but looking like a tight one there at Arden Street at the moment, with the Falcons leading by 8 points. But Jono, you're down there on the boundary. Conditions, it looks like it's mixing it up at the moment, isn't it? This Melbourne weather.
You probably saw me walking around just while we were in the break, just there, just having a feel around on the ground. I'll tell you what, Paul, I'm definitely not. You're definitely not alone when it comes to appreciating this ground and how good it is. I mean, it's just draining really well now.
He just cut out there, Jono. Just get that mic up and about if you can. There we go. We got you back. There we go.
Sorry, guys. The ground drains really well, and just been. I tell you what, the conditions don't get any better than this. The umpires as well, they've the majority have elected to go with the runners, and why wouldn't you? This ground is absolutely fantastic.
Yep.
So this afternoon, I think there's a game here. Is that right?
Yes, there is indeed. Yeah.
So
Carlton versus Gold Coast, 5:10. Get down there.
Conditions will be ideal, and sorry to Paul. to speak against Carlton, but I hope Sarah Perkins kicks 5 goals, please.
Thanks very much, Jono. We'll make sure that mic's cut off when you
How will they go
get back
today,
to
Paul?
No, they'll win. They'll win. No, they'll win. No, they've been playing better. See, this is the thing. They're better than the teams in that bottom rung, but they're not as good as the teams in the top rung, if that makes sense. They're sort of in what we call no man's land.
Similar to the men's a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit similar, but new coach, new CEO, new president. Hopefully things start to change. But if I go off on that tangent, I'll never stop, Brent. But no, Port Melbourne leading it here at halftime, 38-26. Can't 1-3-9. Toby, what do the Blues have to do to get back in the game? We saw Thornycroft there. She was darting through the middle. Is it just a case of when you need to gain territory, just gain it?
Yeah, I think so. But those last 5 minutes of that second quarter, Port Melbourne were very wasteful. They kicked a couple behinds. They couldn't convert on the score. But on the other hand, you look at Carlton, they couldn't make the most of Port Melbourne's, I guess, terrible last 5 minutes, really. They couldn't get it up into their forward 50. They couldn't make Port Melbourne pay for their mistakes. And so when Brett says it's a tale of two sides, that is definitely true. When one side's good, Carlton needs to be able to take advantage of Port Melbourne's mishaps.
Interesting as well to see that the Blues, at half-time, they were brought into a huddle there on centre wing, and they've taken their time to get ready in this second half as well. So they're only just making their way to their respective positions, while the Borough well and truly set up and ready to go for second half action here at Icon Park. It is the Borough leading at 38-26 to the Blues 1-3-9. The Blues will be going towards this Legends Stand end of the stadium. But to get us underway for second half action here, the VFLW match of the round, Carlton versus Port Melbourne. Here's Brent Sternberg.
They're going to have to come from behind the Blues if they're to get back to 2-2. Port Melbourne potentially only 40 minutes away now from their opening win of season 2022. Of course, they didn't lose last season, Port Melbourne, until round 8. 7 wins out of the gate last season. Not so in 2022, but they're looking the goods here at Icon Park. Georgia Borg and Dudley going at it in the middle. Little toe poke out there from the Borough. Diet trying to crash through. Handball to Borg. Borg from the 50 into the goal square. Just over the head there of Wilson, and it's going to bounce through just to the left-hand side of the behind post. And yet another behind for Port Melbourne, as they did a lot in that second term, spraying wide of the big sticks. And they've done again here inside the opening 30 seconds of quarter number 3. That would have been a great start for the Borough. The Blues to bring it back in through Annie Lee.
So Lee, she pumps this one up towards half-back. Borg on the second attempt couldn't take the mark. The umpire's hovering around this contest, and we'll have a ball up just inside forward 50 for the Borough. And it'll be Dudley and Borg to do battle in the ruck again. Borg won the tap. Barging her way through was McDonald. Got a handball. Blues win out, though. Kick up towards the defensive side of the wing. Thornycroft is going to win the football for the Blues. Not the worst of handballs. It paddled up towards Hammonds. Sharp was there for Carlton as well. Klingbeil for the Blues, but the Borough are going to win out, and they've got the numbers here. Good kick. Come out towards O'Keefe. She looked to go. Might have been a 50 there against Stremmer and Denoldi. Probably should have been. Umpire didn't see it. Kick forward by O'Keefe is a beauty. And an uncontested mark taken by Peterson, and she goes short into the pocket. And the Borough are going to have a closer shot towards goal, and it'll be Stella Reed this time.
That was great work, Paul, from Michaela Peterson. I think she was the one who kicked it to Katie O'Keefe on the wing originally and then ran on and got on the end of it. It was great work.
So can the Borough make the most of this early ascendancy in the third term? And she wheels around on the left boot and hits the woodwork. So another behind for the Borough. There's almost death by 1,000 cuts here at the moment. 3-10-28 the Borough, and the Blues are 1-3-9. And Katie, warning signs early here for the Blues, but the Borough got to put on the scoreboard.
Absolutely, they need to convert these opportunities into goals very shortly, because it's going to leave that door open just for Carlton. You can't have that early doors here.
That's 1 goal, 2 now for Stella Reed, as there's a loose ball up for grabs here. O'Keefe quickly wrapped up. Got a handball away. Oh, Port Melbourne player landed awkwardly there, and she's sore. I can't quite pick out who that is. I think it might be Chloe Locke, who's just picking herself up now, and then goes straight back into the contest. So she's okay.
She's been in the wars today, though, hasn't she?
She has a Gurr as well. I think for Carlton is a little bit sore off the play, as there's a free kick to Amelia Klingbeil for holding the ball at left half back. I think Gurr might be coming from the ground. Klingbeil sending it long down the line. Barton rips it out of the sky. Great mark Olivia Barton coming off a career-high 20 disposals last week. She plays in the back line. She had plenty to do against Geelong last week, just quietly. Port Melbourne back to half forward. Can they find a mark here? No, but Klingbeil, who kicked it straight to Barton, and Barton's kicked it straight back, and Amelia Klingbeil has it at left half back where she had it about 30 seconds ago, Paul.
So opposing number ones playing kick to kick together at the moment. But Klingbeil up towards Sharp, got a hand up, had it fisted away from her by Peterson. Hammond's in there for the Blues, laying a tackle. Peterson went back in there to try to win it. Naily Borg was there for the Blues, for the Borough. Borg for the Blues laid a good tackle on her opponent. Stremendonoli over the footy for the Blues as well, and it looks like we're going to have a stoppage. We are indeed. Just the attacking side of the wing for Carlton. They trail 139, the Borough 310-28. This battle in the ruck's been a good one between Dudley and Borg Klingbeil. She's been busy early in this third quarter. Handball back to Stremendonoli. Borg back towards her captain there in field. She's wrapped up immediately. Port Melbourne forced this one towards half forward. We'll have a stoppage. They've had the ascendancy of in this contest, but just haven't been able to put it on the scoreboard. They're 310-28. The Blues 139. Clearing kick up towards half forward for Carlton. Milford led the race for the footy. Coming out to meet the footy there was Hootsma, though. She's been busy in this game. Well done by Milford.
Brilliant.
Kick around the body, though. Really good smother by Bramage. Stremendonoli put her body on the line. Turned in the tackle. Zampagliano in there for the Blues. Bramage was wrapped up as soon as she won it, and that's holding the ball. Well done by Zampaglione, and she'll get a free kick here, half forward for the Blues, and they can go into attack.
Yeah, Zampaglione's looking inboard. Oh, it's not a great kick. Dudley couldn't trap it. Sharp might go again. Didn't win the football. Maddie Shaw applies a tackle in there. Imogen Milford again had her kick smothered. Peterson now for Port Melbourne. Did she get a handball away? It won't matter. Carlton will break. Zampaglione on the outside of the boot. Inside 50 they go. Here's Thornycraft, who's parked herself in the forward 50. Handball back here to Zampaglione. Great trap outside of the boot to the goal square. And Lily Goss has got it. Brilliant. Enterprising football from the Carlton side. And here comes the biggest kick of the football match to date, and it rests on the right boot of Lily Goss. Tight little angle, but only about 20 metres out.
Outstanding forward craft there by Zampaglione. The kick comes in here, though.
Should be kicking this Lily Goss, and she has. She steered it through, so that breaks a 3-goal run for Port Melbourne. We've got a couple of fist pumps up here in the commentary box. Carlton get that all-important first goal in the second half. It is Lily Goss with her first goal of the season, and that's an important one, and the margin is trimmed now to 13 points.
And I make no apologies for that either, Brent.
She's been a little bit quieter today, has Lily Goss. She was fantastic last week.
Yeah, she's had a good year, yeah. 14 touches a game, 5 tackles a game.
Disposal number 8, that one there.
So working her way into this one, and coming into the middle for the Blues here, off the bench I think is Nicolau. He's going to run towards the defensive side of the centre square. So the ball thrown up. Dudley won the tap. Sharp's been thrown into the middle for the Blues. She got a little handball out, was okay. Winning the clearance there for Carlton was Jordan up towards half forward. Milford trapped it really well. Handball to Sharp. Inside forward 50. Kicks a wobbly one. Lawrence was there for the Blues. Good tackle by Klingbeil. Might have been a throw. Umpire said it was legal. Lawrence for the Blues, threw her body on the line, tapped it out towards Nicolau. She was wrapped up as soon as she won possession, went back in and laid a big tackle. Umpire kept calling play on, might have been a throw. Klingbeil went in there, might have been taken high. Umpire putting the whistle away. Sharp in there for the Blues, try to fend off her opponent. Big tackle laid. Now the umpire will call holding the ball.
That's the fend off, I think. Yeah.
Yep. Courtney Bramage with an important defensive tackle, and she can come out wide here to her target, and that's Meg Mcdonald. Another touch for her.
Has this game gone up a gear? Meg Mcdonald just about best on ground in the opening half. Bouncing off the hands of Stella Reed. Maud for Carlton trying to take it away from her. Wrapped up by a couple of ladies wearing red and blue. And we'll get a ball up between wing and half forward. Port Melbourne, who have just been stunned a little bit here early in quarter number 3. Carlton winning plenty of the football, and importantly, kicking goals when they get it inside 50. Nicolau trying to manufacture a kick out of there. She did well. Here's Peterson now for Port Melbourne. Bounce just eluded her. Milford might have taken her without it, or taken her high even. Umpire says get up to take your kick. Kayla Peterson, who has a very interesting match day routine, a ritual. We'll get back to that. She's run around the player on the mark. Kick inside 50. Knocked away there by Wilson, but straight to Isabella Stutt. Handball off there now to Adams. Hurried one towards full forward. Harley just off hands in front of her. Put her off. Nadia Moore Boot to ball for the Blues. Bouncing ball. Adams, it's a good take. Trying to get a handball through. It's good pressure by Carlton. Carlton are lifting. Nicolaiu inside the centre square. The two number ones go at it again. Barton at the back couldn't quite get it. Maybe held on to. Play on the call. No, not play on the call. It's coming back to a free kick for Olivia Barton. Kayla Peterson, her game day ritual, she cleans her undies.
There you go. Thank you very much.
I hope that's not just a game day ritual.
Zampaglione for the Blues. Annie Lee did really well to step through traffic, and the kick is a beauty to Milford. Oh, she dropped what she probably should have taken. In there for the Blues. A handball over the top by Barton was okay. Good tackle laid by Klingbeil. Back to Barton. Ball working its way, bobbling through this contest. Kick forward there by the Borough by McWhinney. She had it well smothered. Zampaglione had her kick smothered as well. Fell in the lap of Sharp. They could be out the back here, the Blues. It's all the Borough, though. Nicolau with the kick forward, and with plenty of time and space here is Lisa Davies. She can find a target out deeper, and she does indeed. The target is McDonald. She dropped the footy. Let Brazzali in. She's in hot pursuit. Good handball back, Davies. Tackle by Brazzali. Big tackle by Milford. Blues are lifting here. The pressure's gone up a notch. Build went in there for Carlton. Umpire's going to call a free kick by the looks of it, I think. It's going to be a high free kick going the way of the Borough. Kick out wide by Joyce. Not the greatest of kicks, so Burrows have got the number. Little handball out the back was okay. Isabella Studd, she's got time to win possession. Kick it up towards half forward. Bramage on the end of it. Spilt it. Paddled it out in front of herself. Back in there for the Blues was Zampaglione, and now they can clear a little bit of pressure, and they can get out the back with Abby Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan, who has the wing just about to herself. She's not going to bounce it. She'll touch it on the deck. Could have done it a second time, but instead delivers pretty nicely to half forward. Thornycroft ducked in and out of a tackle. Kick inside 50. Big ball up for grabs here. Davey taken the ground by Klingbeil. We're going to get a ball up inside forward 50 for Carlton, who have had two or three players really come to the boil in this third quarter. Zampaglione, Klingbeil as well. Poppy Sharp's come into the game. Good signs for the Blues, but still they trail by 13 points. We've played nearly 10 minutes in quarter number 3. Sharp trying to find a way through. Nothing doing. We'll do it all again. It's Sarah Ingram who gives the football back to the umpire. Carlton 40 metres out from their goal. They're going to the legend stand end in the third term.
So Sharp was around the footy for the Blues. McDonald, she's had a plethora of the ball as well. She was tackled. Got her hands on her head at the moment. Might have copped one across the chops by the looks of it. Umpire's called a stop to play. She's on her haunches here.
Going around the grounds briefly, some big news for North fans. Jess Morney kicks the first of the day for the blue and white. It's 1-1-7, trailing the Darebin Falcons 1-3-9, 10 minutes gone, third term.
Thank you very much, Jono, down there on the boundary doing fine work. Bramage from the stoppage was wrapped up by Sharp. She paddled it out in front of her, and the umpire called holding the ball. Bring it back. Sharp's gone up a notch here in this second half. She's been lively around the contest. So Poppy Sharp, what can she manufacture? She kicks it up towards around about 45 metres out from the Carlton goal. Milford with a little handball out. It looks like Brazzali's going to snap towards goal. The target's Goss. Boundary line's going to beat the ball, though. Davey seeing it over the boundary line for the Borough, and we'll have it tossed in deep inside forward 50 for the Blues. They trail by 13 points. 2-3-15 plays 3-10-28. Katie Lambeski, thoughts on this third term?
We did say Carlton needed more at the break, and they've definitely started to find that. Sharp, Zampaglione, really starting to get their hands on the footy. Lots of pressure going forward by the Blues, and they need to keep that up if they're going to get anything out of this game.
They've been well and truly the better team in this third quarter, Carlton. Need another goal, though. Gee, Brazzali taken high by Sophie Locke, and they've taken exception to it as well, the Blues. Got to be careful not to reverse it. I think that was the captain of all players, Ali Bill, pushing Sophie Locke to ground. Here's a free kick to be taken by Lauren Brazzali. 50 metres out. Carlton to go deep into attack again towards the hot spot. They need a mark. Sharp at the back, not quite. Brought it to ground. Over it now for Port Melbourne. I think that's Chloe Locke in there. In fact, it's Maddie Shaw who's scampering to try and get away. Ball up. Carlton at the teeth of goal. Only about 25 out. Winbanks got to that ruck contest late. Klingbeil somehow got free. Handball to Jordan, who had to get past her teammate to kick a goal. There we go. The Blues are back in the game. Port Melbourne trying to claim touch. It was. Wow, that's a late call. The umpire was walking to his spot, ready to throw the two arms down. Paolo cannot believe it.
Now, can we get a video replay on that one?
Go to the VAR, you reckon? Oh, God.
So Port Melbourne, they'll rebound towards half towards half-back, just the defensive side of the wing now. Thornycroft tackling Wimbanks over the boundary line and out of play, and we'll have it tossed in.
Well, that's a let-off for Port Melbourne, isn't it?
It is a big let-off. Blues have been on top in this third term. 2-4-16, plays 3-10-28. Borough leading it by the 12 points. So it'll be Borg. The throw-in actually favoured her, and she won the tap down. Thornycroft was there for the Blues, was bumped off the footy really well by Harley. Trying to throw her weight around there, Harley. Good tackle there laid by Cowan. Right next to the boundary line here, right in front of the interchange gate between both teams, and we'll have it tossed up. Smack bang on centre wing broadcast side as Charlotte Wilson makes her way onto the field. She'll contest this ruck contest. Won it down. Stremendonoli was taken high by her opponent, and she'll get the resulting free kick. So she looks in board. She's got targets further afield. A couple of one-on-ones up towards half forward. The Borough have got the sit, though. Out the back, though. Sharp for the Blues. Having it, or doing well there was Ingram. To almost cause a turnover. Milford and Sharp over this one for Carlton. Bramage around there for the Borough. But the umpire will ball it up around about 60 metres from the Blues goal. They trail by 12 points. We've gone nearly 14 minutes into this second half from the restart. Sophie Locke around there for the Blues. Stremendonoli did really well. Got a handball out to Sharp. Sharp over to Goss. Kick not the best, though. Borough are going to intercept, and they can wheel and go here through Meg Mcdonald.
Been sensational today, has Meg. That's a pretty good kick as well. Claire Dyer just had trouble tracking that one. Everybody just about went to ground. To Cosmo, pounced on it for the Blues. Kicked the full forward. Sharp's there. Crunch. Everyone goes to ground. What a contest. Oh, bang! Oh, boy, it's willing out there.
It is
We're not going to have some survivors from this contest, I think.
Me.
And there has been a free kick pulled out of there. Which way is it going? I think it's going Port Melbourne's way. It is for too high. How the umpire only pulled one free kick out of all of that, I don't know. But he's going to be taken deep in defence by Lisa Davey. Boy, what a contest. 4 points on the line. Two teams need a win. Carlton, the turnover. Goss, handball to her teammate who ran straight into trouble. The umpire said, I think you had prior opportunity, and it's going to be a free kick. Claire Dyatt, the co-captain, right at half-back for the Borough.
So Claire Dyatt with a short kick, it's okay. Borough look like they're going to try to work this up the outer side. So they go towards centre wing, couple of one-on-ones. Ball came off hands. Annie Lee was there for Carlton. Ball fell into the front of the stoppage there. It was okay. Stella Reed with a kick around the body, but Rhiannon Gurr for the Blues. She's going to pump this one back up towards the attacking side of the wing. Goss did well. Kick out the back. Now Sharp. Can she win this footy first? She got bumped off it. Barton did well. Picked up the crumbs. Got a little handball out. It was okay. Ball fell back the way there, and Meg Mcdonald, she was put under the pump as soon as she won the footy. And we'll have it tossed up. Better forward pressure from the Blues there.
Goss has just injected herself into this third quarter. Up to 10 disposals now. We just look at her form across the years. 9 games in VAFA 2021, 6 of them named in the best.
Here's Klingbeil with a little handball to Stremendonoli. Oh, reaching for it there. Goss, not quite. Steph Lawrence a chance. Handball away. Got it to Ingram, who's trying to break clear. Got boot to ball. It's out towards the pocket. Kate Adams will watch it go out of play. Carlton deep into attack. We're late on here in quarter number 3 at Icon Park. We've got about 4 and a bit minutes to play. I was just going to say on Meg Mcdonald, 20 disposals. She's the leading disposal getter on the ground. The next best is Katie O'Keefe, her teammate, with 15. So way out on front. In front, I should say, the Richmond AFLW listed player. Can Carlton muster something here? They've had plenty of inside forward 50 ball. Bramage taken in a strong tackle. Claire Dyatt is screaming to the umpire for a free kick, and I think the non-officiating one's come over to pay it.
Yep. I think that was a fair free kick as well. She got dumped as soon as she was tackled, did Courtney Bramage, and she'll drive this one. Ball's got the front spot. Pay the mark. Yep, he does indeed. So Borg with a handball to Klingbeil, had to step around her opponent, kick up towards a hot spot. Sharp's got front, she's out the back though, fist away from the Borough defenders. They do well. Meg Mcdonald with yet another touch, disposal number 22. Kick is not the greatest of kicks though. Jordan was in there for the Blues. So was Zampaglione. Good tackle by the Borough defenders. Klingbeil, handball out wide's okay. The kick up towards goal by Jordan. It's going to go off hands and go through for one behind. So the Blues now trickle along to 2-5-17. The Borough 3-10-28. And Katie, geez, the Blues are really peppering away in this third term. They've had the ascendancy ball played in their forward half, but maybe just a little bit more composure going forward to centre.
Absolutely. They need to make the most of these opportunities. They're really turning the screws now, not letting Port Melbourne through their half of the ground at all. They've been able to build that wall and be able to have that repeat inside 50 pressure.
Lovely kick, Emily Harley from the back line to find Stella Reed. A lot of the forwards for Port Melbourne have gone cold in the last 10 minutes or so because they've barely seen it. That kick will go right to the boundary line. Good tackle there by Wilson. Wrapped up Gurr. Umpire says I'm going to ball it up right inside the boundary. Centre wing. Heading towards three-quarter time. Port Melbourne leading by 11. An inaccurate 3:10:28. Lead Carlton 2:5:17, who have had all the running in quarter number 3, but just one goal to show for it. Thornycroft kicked it right into the guts of Akayla Peterson. Will go a second time, wrapped up by Bramage and friends. We'll get a ball up centre wing under grey skies at Icon Park, but boy, we've got a good contest between two teams, like I mentioned a moment ago, for whom the 4 points would be crucial today.
We do indeed, and what a match of the day it is on Wharf Radio, 90.1 FM at the ground, and the YouTube stream on the VFLW YouTube page. The clearing kick there by Ingram was a high up and under kick. Plenty of players under this one. Nicolau trying to burst through. She was dispossessed of it as she won possession of the ball. Thornycroft with a little kick around her body. Only went as far as Claire Diet. Little handball out. Not the best. Hammond's in there for the Blues. Klingbeil over the top of it. She's been involved in this third term. Umpire crosses himself. And we'll have a ball up around about 55 to 60 metres out from the Carlton goal, who are pressing in this third term.
Sorry, Paul. They're trying to get the ball into space at all costs, the Blue Baggers. I reckon they've had Ron Barassi go down at half-time and say, just handball it. Keep the ball alive.
So from that stoppage, we'll have yet another stoppage, another ball up.
God bless him, Ronald Dale.
It was his birthday the other day as well, actually, big Ron Barassi, so kudos to him. Big stalwart of the AFL, absolute legend. Borg from the restart. Hammonds, kick around the body. Okay, Zampalione did really well. She was clean under pressure. Stepped through a couple of players. Kick up towards about 35 metres out. Lawrence was there for the Blues. Gurr around there as well. She's pressed up into the forward 50 for Carlton. Good tackle, but the siren's going to beat them. And the Borough survive a big Carlton push. And they still lead it here at three-quarter time. An inaccurate Port Melbourne, 3:10:28. Carlton 2:5:17, and Toby Hansen, what a quarter of football that was.
What a quarter. The Blues were back. They might not have hurt the scorers all too much, but they were well and truly have tightened the screws, as Katie said earlier in that third quarter.
The game definitely got willing. It definitely went up a few notches, and I think we all need a moment to just breathe after that one, because that was outstanding footy, I think, from Carlton. They brought the pressure. They really went at Port Melbourne. They really needed to, and now didn't quite make the full most of their opportunities, but they're well within this game. There's a massive final quarter coming up.
Now, Brett Sternberg, can we get we'll get the goal kickers here at three-quarter time for this intriguing clash as we head towards our break.
Just the one goal kicker added in that term to the Blues, of course. So 3 still for Port Melbourne. Emily Harley, Stella Reed and Isabella Stutt. Charlotte Hammond and Lily Goss, the only goal kicker in that third quarter. Carlton trailing by 11 points as we turn for home. It's Port Melbourne 3:10:28, leading the Blue Bag of 2:5:17. But you just get the sense, Carlton, other team coming home with the wet sail.
It is game on here at three-quarter time at Icon Park. It is the Borough leading at 3:10:28 to the Blues 2:5:17. We'll be back for final quarter action here on Wharf Radio right after this.
Life can be really tough when you or a close family member has cancer. But if you're 12 to 25, Canteen's in your corner. Canteen provides whatever practical and emotional support you need, from connecting you with other young people who get what you're going through, to helping you develop new skills to cope, and just bringing back some fun into your world. So if cancer's messing with your life, check out canteen.org.au. And remember, Canteen's in your corner.
Hi, this is Missy Higgins for RAD, recording artists, actors and athletes against drink driving. I see a lot of things at gigs, mostly people having a good time and a few drinks. But what I'd hate to see is someone getting behind the wheel after they'd been drinking. Being even a little bit over the limit makes it too easy to lose control. So if you plan to drink, plan ahead. Arrange a designated driver who won't drink. Remember, music lives and you should too.
We're at a party. 3 little kids were playing in the pool, all under 5. Adults were busy talking, glanced over, noticed the little one underwater. I think she needs help. That's how easily something can happen. It only takes a few seconds. Don't worry, the party had a happy ending. But we need to remember, fence the pool, shut the gate. Teach your kids to swim, it's great. Supervise, watch your mate, and learn how to resuscitate. I'm Laurie Lawrence. Kids Alive, do the 5.
What do you listen to while you're waiting for the next VFLW game on Wharf Radio? Do you long for the days when radio stations played music that you knew without being constantly bombarded with ads and by announcers who want to make it about themselves and not about the music? Welcome to GoRadio.live. We're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, playing the very best music of the past 70 years. You can listen at www.goradio.live, or better still, download the free GoRadio.live app for your Apple or Android device. GoRadio.live. It's radio as it should be.
It's the VFL Women's Match of the Day.
Here at Icon Park, round 4 action. We're about to get underway in this last term. Carlton v Port Melbourne. It is the Borough by 11 here at three-quarter time. 3:10:28 plays Carlton 2:5:17. But Jono is down there on the boundary. We'll get to him very, very shortly. He's over down there at the Port Melbourne huddle. But Brent, the Blues went up a notch in that third quarter, and it's game on coming into this last term.
We were speaking during the break, they had a number of players that had to lift in that third quarter. I reckon Tom Stafford might have gone around to some individual players and given maybe not some home truths, but a little bit of a rev up, because they looked like a completely different team, and they looked like they had the bit between their teeth. And we were talking about Zampaleone and Poppy Sharp. Thornycroft has been pretty good. She had a good third quarter, but a couple of those girls that only had 1 or 2 touches in the first half really got their skates on in quarter number 3. Job not done yet, though, for all of that good work. They've only kicked 1 goal. What did they have in that third quarter? It was 1 goal, 2. So they're going to have to kick more than that in this final term if they're going to come from behind.
And Katie Lambeski, what do other teams need to do to win? Do Borough just clam up, play defensively as the way they did in that third term and try to hold on, or is it a case of trying to go out and go on the offensive?
I think it's definitely that, Paula. Get on the offensive. Like, don't clam up and don't invite that pressure onto yourself by parking the bus, so to speak. I think Carlton are going to come again, I think, particularly in these early moments, because they need to. They just simply need to if they're going to get anything out of this game. Carlton just need to continue turning those screws. Port Melbourne just need to find a way to hit up Emily Harley a bit more, I think, to find that structure that she can give you. Take those clean marks, take those clean possessions, and just take that valuable time off the clock each time that can happen. And
Toby, based on what you saw in that third term and throughout the game, who wins?
Well, it's not because it's
You're changing your tip, or no, you're staying with it?
Oh, no, I'm going to stick by the Borough. It is only 2 kicks, but the pressure from Carlton that third term was unbelievable. It's like we were watching 2 completely different teams go at it in this term. If it keeps up, I think we might have a real tight one. I'm going to go Borough. Kick after the siren.
Oh, jeez, that's a
Don't
big
do that
call.
to Paul. Don't do that to him.
My heart's had enough stress as it is for the last 25 years. Jono down on the boundary. We got ya.
Been down in both camps because I just noticed that talks were going on at different stages. Sean Bunkle can sense an onslaught coming, so defence is really crucial. Conversely, Tom Stafford really happy with that quarter, and they say that the forward line setup is very crucial. They reckon they can pull this off. They're absolutely pumped up, Carlton. And just a brief shout out to Steph Camelli from the Instagram page She Scores. She's a great photographer. She's tipping that the game will be turned on its head and the Blues might win this one, Paul.
Oh, it might be a blue tsunami in this last term, the way we're going. But no, to get us underway here for final quarter action, it'll be Brent Sternberg, and the Borough lead it by 11 points. Blues are coming, but the Borough's still in front.
Port Melbourne by 8 points at quarter time, 17 at half time, and here they are, 11 points in the lead as we turn for home. We've got a big final quarter coming up here at Icon Park. Georgia Borg not going anywhere, been good in the ruck today, but they didn't really get the ascendancy in the middle of the ground until that third quarter. They've had the 2 or 3 players going through the ruck today, Port Melbourne, and they've really tested out Georgia Borg. There's Claire Dyatt on hands and knees, got a handball to O'Keefe, who was wrapped up by Poppy Sharp, one of those players who really got busy in quarter number 3. And they're going to have to do it all again in this final quarter. 2 more goals to win it. That is, in terms of scoring shots, it's 13-7. High ball inside 50. Port Melbourne into attack first. Good second effort there by Emily Harley, who may have been taken high. She led with the head a little bit, and now she's going to be caught for holding the ball. Had the option there to give the handball. She didn't want to do it. Carlton to take the free kick through Sarah Ingram, and she's looking centrally.
So Ingram with the kick. Her target there was Klingbeil. It's a good kick as well, and the Blues can go through the middle. Sharp is out the back here. I think she's just going to get on the end of it. No, it goes over her head and bounces through a couple of them. Milford there for the Blues. She's been quiet today. Sharp went in there later tackle. Borg was around the footy for the Blues. Milford won out, was wrapped up as soon as she won it. Inside 50 for Carlton now. Handball out to Stramondinoli, to Goss. Her kick up towards a hot spot. Burrow in the right position though. Barton took the mark. I think it was touched off hands. Yep, it was a mark, but it was touched. Barton wrapped up as soon as she won possession, and we'll have a ball up here. Hammond's laying a good tackle. 20 metres out from the Carlton goal. Goss around this one for the Blues. She won it from the stoppage, got a little handball out. Ball flipping about, neither team able to win clean possession. Stramondinoli around there for the Blues. Burrow with a series of handballs. Diet was there, comes out. Now the Burrow can clear up towards halfback. Borg sitting under it for Carlton. Ball fell out the back of the contest. Getting her shoved off the footy there was Ingram. She won possession of it though, snapped around her body. Might just stay in the field of play. I think it might have been off the hand of Brazzali. No, it wasn't. Just eluded her hand, and the free kick, the resulting free kick, the lasso rule, would be taken by Claire Diet here at halfback for the Borough.
Oh, that must have been close.
Brazzali should have touched it.
Yeah,
just went over her head.
They might have mucked this up here, Port Melbourne. Diet couldn't link up with Meg Mcdonald. Hack kick down the wing. Borg went early. Now she's jumped on by Klingbeil. She's Nayli Borg been a little bit quiet today. She was fantastic for Port Melbourne last week. A lot of their players, to be honest, in that third quarter were second to the ball. Not this lady, Meg Mcdonald. Worried out of it by Poppy Sharp. Great stuff, Poppy, trying to keep it in. And eventually it will spill out of play, and we'll get a ball in just forward of the wing for the Blues. They're going to the end of the ground that hasn't really been the attacking end so far this morning, Katie.
Yeah, indeed. It's just been, it's a difficult conditions out there. Really, both sides are really adapting to that quite well, I feel, though. It's a hot contest.
Carlton so much better set up off the ball this quarter. Something's definitely shifted. They've got that wall that's set up across half forward.
Oh, big tackle there laid by Nicolau. She's been lively in this second half. Her kick up towards centre half forward. Plenty of players sit under it. Annie Lee was one of those. Thornycroft. She's won a heap of the ball for the Blues. Kick up towards a hot spot. It's going to get out the back. Stramondinoli, if it's in for it, she kicks the goal. Here come the Blues.
Been waiting to say that, pal.
3-5-23 to 3-10-28. Carlton are on a roll. They get the first of this final term. And, Katie, that's the one they needed to keep that momentum rolling.
Absolutely. You can't ask too much more than that if you're Tom Stafford. Really beautifully taken opportunity there from Stramondinoli. Got her foot to it. Socketed home, composed beautifully.
Katie Lambeski on the special comments. Toby Hansen as well on the special comments too.
Set up perfectly for you there, Paul. A beautiful run of play there for Carlton. It might not have been as perfect as they wanted, but spilled out the back and socked perfectly through the big sticks.
And Jono down there on the boundary. What's the vibe like between the two benches?
Oh, gee, Claire Diet came off the bench. She was not very happy with the situation. Conversely, Carlton are up and about. Also going around the grounds, the Darebin Falcons have kicked away 2-3-15 to 1-1-7. 4 minutes gone, final term.
Blues back into attack. Thornycroft looking for Milford. Just knocked away there by McWhinney, who's now over it. Jumped on the Carlton player who did well to get it out. They want to keep the footy alive at all costs, the Blue Baggers. Davey jumped up. Milford stripped her of it. Thornycroft still in there for the Blues. She'll be able to get a handball away. Meg Mcdonald maybe dragged off it. Peterson now over it in there for Port Melbourne. She wanted a free kick. Out they come. Had a fresh airy. Paul calls for holding the ball. Nothing doing. Looks like we might get a ball up at the top of the 50. No, it does come out. It's Port Melbourne that tried to get the ball out, and they do out wide. Peterson towards the centre wing position. Almost a mark taken there. I think that was O'Keefe who was using her head to try and mark it. Ball up for grabs on the wing. In there, hard and low is to Cosmo. Wrapped up by the red and blue. Still the ball jars free. Wilson looking for Joyce. Couldn't get her. Let's come back here to McDonald, who went with the 1-2. Sophie Locks had a quiet afternoon. Good handball back here to Peterson, who can survey her options down the field. She'll run around one of her former teammates. Lovely delivery to half forward. Stella Reed paid the mark, about 60 out from goal. In fact, it was Ingrid Utsma, the debutante. Out into the pocket she goes. Can the Borough find a mark? Not quite. Now here's Harley. Gave the handball to Wilson from deep in the pocket. Bouncing ball, goal! Elizabeth Wilson with a crucial snag for the Borough against the run of play. And that's a bit of a backbreaker if you're the Blues, Katie.
Unreal. What a goal. Snapped that home beautifully. What a counterpunch by Port Melbourne. Badly needed momentum right back their way. Fantastic goal.
Almost a repeat of the scenes in that previous goal, but I tell you what, Port, I reckon the tide's with them at the moment, and they kicked away crucial stages with 14 minutes to go.
It's their first goal, Port Melbourne, since Isabella Stutt kicked one in the second quarter, just shy of the 8-minute mark. That's a huge snag for the Borough.
So the Borough just pushing back against the navy blue tide, and the umpire has called a free kick. Is it going to go the way of Port Melbourne? I think it is, yeah.
5-6-5 infringement by the sounds of things.
Okay, so Dudley will take the resulting free kick. The Borough go up towards half forward. Lawrence is there for the Blues. Out the back to try and win the footy was Ingram. She kicks it out in front of herself at half back. She's besieged by a couple of Borough forwards. In there for the Borough was Hootsma. She's around the footy as well. Good tackle laid by Ingram, though, and we'll have a stoppage. Out of side here at Icon Park, it's the Borough by 11 points, 4:10:34. The Blues 3:5:23. 7 minutes travelled into this last term. Out of side here at Icon Park. Gloomy conditions here, but it's been a fantastic game. Good contest between two tough teams. Brazali around there for the Blues. Klingbeil one possession, and she got the clearance up towards half forward. Milford the target. Thornycroft again wins possession of the football. She's wrapped up, locked up there. Good stuff defensively there by the Borough. And we'll have a ball up here, half forward for the Blues. They trail by 11 points. 7.5 minutes gone in this final term.
And Kate Adams, the tackle there for Port Melbourne, could not let that ball jar free because Carlton had runners. Here's Borg just trying to pump that football forward. Another chance here for Thornycroft to go and lay a tackle. Well, they've worked the football, inched the football back inside 50 for the Blues. They've had all the running really for the second half, and that goal from Elizabeth Wilson. It'll be interesting to see how that affects this Carlton team psychologically for all the good work they've done. And they've given away another free kick, a ruck infringement against Georgia Borg. And here's the former Hawthorn VFLW listed player, Kate Dudley, to take the kick. I reckon she'll just try and kick this as far as she can to the outer side. Oh, in from the side, not quite taking the mark there was Sophie Locke. Good work in there, but I think that was Lawrence who's got it out to Klingbeil. Here come the Blues, kick towards half forwards, and Pellioni just let it bounce. Knocking it away there, that was Adams. Chloe Locke, handball to Davey, who just hurried one back towards the middle of the ground. Gurr for Carlton ran straight past it. Body use there by Klingbeil, but she actually knocked the Port Melbourne player straight onto the football and then wrapped her up, and we'll get a ball up right in the middle of the ground. Carlton trailing by 11 points as Port Melbourne 4:10:34, the Blues 3:5:23. We've gone nearly 9 minutes in the final quarter at Icon Park.
And it looks like Annie Lee for Carlton's moved up onto the wing off the half-back line. She's linking up with Claire Diet. Might be a contest to watch late in this fourth term.
So the tackle laid by Gurr, she'll get the resulting free kick just on the defensive side of the wing here. She's called to go. She wheels and goes. She's wrapped up, got a little handball out, and they're going to bugger it up here. The Blues back to Gurr. Just get it on the foot. That's got to be a throw. It is indeed. Incorrect disposal. And getting themselves into trouble there, the Blues. And the Borough are going to go deep inside forward 50, but it's all Carlton here. Dropping a mark was more. Drop one she definitely should have taken. Borough let in here, and they'll get a stoppage inside forward 50. 35 metres out from their goal. They lead it by 11 points. 4:10:34. The Blues 3:5:23 from the stoppage. Moore was in there again for the Blues. Got a little handball in front of herself. She's besieged though. Taps it out outside of defensive 50. Zampaglione there to mop up the mess. Handball back to Klingbeil. All Borough here though.
Yep.
And taking the mark is Maddie Shaw. Too far out from home. She goes with a low little darting ball inside forward 50. Borg sat under it. She got went over her head and through her hands. Snap up towards the top of the goal square by Sophie Locke. Sitting under it was Ingram. Doing well there was De Cosmo. She gets a kick up towards half-back. Klingbeil over her head. Maybe now the Blues have got a bit of time and space. Annie Lee. Little kick is okay. No, just missed Zampaglione. Went through the legs of Chloe Locke. Clean bowler. That was a nutmeg. Little handball out though by Thornycroft. Annie Lee in there for the Blues again though. The Borough win out. Dyatt there, little kick up towards the pocket. Out the back there and fisting it away was the Cosmo Gurr there for the Blues as well. Boundary line's probably going to beat them all. Stella Reed around it. No, in the back. Sheesh. Probably was there. So it'll be a free kick going the way of Beth Wilson. And she's going to give a handball out to Sophie Locke. No awareness from the Blues. And the Borough get one that'll hurt them. 5-10-40 to 3-5-23. And Katie Lambeski, almost unforgivable, but really, really smart there. Smart play there from the Borough.
Yeah, unreal. Particularly with Carlton there, needed to be switched on. The game is on the line. You need to be better in that moment. But Sophie Locke, take a bow, took that moment to perfection, saw the opportunity, steadied on, kicked it right through the middle. Fantastic way to convert, and that just about seals it for the Borough.
What a difference 6 or 7 minutes makes. I saw Claire Dyatt come off the field this time very happy as the rain sort of comes down a bit and perhaps the game ices itself. It's a bit of a sideways factor here as the umpire just checks the 5-6-5. We don't want a repeat of the previous little stanza. Up we go.
On ya, Jono.
If Carlton want to get back in this game, they need to get one right from this bounce. Port Melbourne with the advantage here.
Yes, getting one inside 50. Here comes Stella Reed. Needed a clean pickup. Shrug the tackle onto the left boot. It's online. It's offline. It was online the whole way and then just drifted. Boy, Port Melbourne have come to play in the final quarter. Didn't see them at all, really, in quarter number 3. They arrived late out of the sheds at halftime. Here they come, Carlton. Really got to get a wriggle on now. It's going to be a turnover from the kick-in, though. Peterson, thought about going. It's going to be 50, I think, because she wasn't called to play on. Klingbeil saw that she did play on. The whistle didn't come. Technicality, and Kayla Peterson will be taken right to the goal line just about. Not happy with that one, Paul. Technical.
Look, it's there, but, I mean...
It's harsh.
Stiff.
It's harsh.
Now, what has happened there?
Is that a...
That's not a 50-metre penalty. That's a 15-metre penalty. I am stunned. Anyway, we'll talk about that in a moment. Kayla Peterson is well within range. This to put it to bed. 45-degree angle. Right to the line it'll go. Just getting her hand on it there. Nadia Moore through for another Port Melbourne behind. What happened there?
He's definitely called 50, but it definitely wasn't 50 unless they've changed it to a 30-metre penalty. But or was there a free kick? Was there a free kick off the play? I'm not too sure what's happened there, but if that was a 50-metre penalty, it definitely wasn't the 50 metres. Anyway, playback underway here. Hammond's a target. She won possession of the ball. Now the Blues can maybe get out the back. Milford is going to chase this football down. Davies going to win possession of it. She's back inside defensive 50. Kick around her body was okay. Clears the pressure for the time being. Doing really well there. The Borough, they come into the middle. Olivia Barton takes an uncontested mark. The Borough can go the other way now. Kick into the middle is okay.
Oh,
now
look
they
out.
can go, look out. Good tackle.
No awareness.
Good pressure by Stephanie Lawrence. And they're not letting up the Blues. The Borough have kicked the last 2. Almost put this game beyond reach. Nicolau takes the mark. She's been lively in this second half. The little kick inside forward, 50. Oh, they all looked at each other, the Blues forwards. Goss went in there, laid the tackle. Sharp, Thornycroft and Goss. They all looked at each other and said, are you going to go for it? Are you going to go for it? In the end, no one went for it. And we'll have a stoppage inside forward 50 for the Blues. 40 metres out from their goal. They trail by 19 points.
I don't think any of those ladies in the navy blue actually said anything, and I think that's what the problem was. Hat kick out of there for Port Melbourne. Brazali couldn't get it. Hootsma about to be run down. Just got boot to ball. Not much happening ahead of the footy for Port Melbourne. So here's Ellie Builders. Ran a long way with the football. Kick towards centre wing. Here comes Poppy Sharp, who couldn't quite gather. Little handball flicked out there from Wilson. Come back here, just trying to knock it away there to Cosmo. She didn't really want to take it. Now she's coughed it up. McDonald, kick towards half forward. Dudley having her jumper ripped off. She'll get a free kick. The advantage will be taken. Sophie Locke's going to go in and ice this one, is she? No. Boy, you would have backed her in on the run. She's come into this game in the last quarter, just when I said she'd been quiet. And again, another behind for Port Melbourne. But I reckon they are just about home. They do lead the Borough 5-12-42. Carlton 3-5-23, and for all of their good work, the Blues, it looks like they're staring down the barrel, Katie, of a 1-3 start.
Absolutely, and I think those lack of awareness in those big moments have caused those mishaps, those mistakes have caused Carlton a lot of trouble, particularly in this second half when they've had the momentum and they've had the opportunities, just haven't been able to seize them going forward and have made some mistakes that have really counted against them. So Port just about home, you would think they're edging ever closer.
So from the restart, Wilson won the tap. Goss was around there for the Blues. It'll be Bild who wins the clearance. This is going to trickle towards a boundary line. Hammond's in pursuit of the ball, and this kicks out of bounds on the full. So Matty Shaw probably looking to take that over the boundary line. Has done so, but via the foot.
Hey, team, can I put in my nomination for Golden Fist? I just got a touch in here.
Jono with his first disposal of the year down on the boundary. So the kick up towards half forward for the Blues. Nicolau in there laying a tackle, but it was too high. And the Borough are going to get a free kick. And going down there is Chloe Locke.
She got clobbered, didn't she?
Yeah, she did indeed. It's a really high tackle from Nicolau. We're going to have a stoppage on play here by the looks of it. And the Borough look like they're home. They've withstood this Carlton fight back. They're up by 20 points, 5-3-43. The Blues 3-5-23. And taking the resulting free kick will be Chloe Locke.
Nicknamed Noodle by the Port Melbourne girls. Claire Dyer told me that in pre-season, and I said, why is she nicknamed Noodle? And Claire said, I don't know. Run down from behind there was Wilson. Now here's to Cosmo, back to Wilson, turning up the heat, the Port Melbourne girls. In there is the late in today, Jessica Joyce, who's had a bit of the football. Jumped on by De Cosmo. Umpire not going to pay a free kick in there. This has been a fantastic win by Port Melbourne. You consider they basically took a quarter off in that third quarter. They desperately needed a win here, and they've come to Icon Park on the first Sunday of the new month under grey and gloomy skies, and looks like they've done enough as Nicolou kicks one into the middle. Maddie Shaw has it covered, holding things up. She can come to the broadcast wing. If she looks here, she had 5 teammates, didn't even look in that direction. Instead, I reckon she's just about turned it over. Not quite a mark taken there by Cowan. Cowan was taken without it. Free kick at centre half back for the Blues, and Emily Harley's not happy with herself.
So Cowan towards this outer side. Her target is Jordan.
Ooh.
Drops what she should have taken. Lets in Claire Dyer. Gets a little handball towards her team out round the body. Went the football. Coming out to meet it there was Sophie Locke. Little handball out by the Blues defender was okay. Thornycroft around the footy for Carlton too. Borg went in there for the Blues. Her kick was smothered. Borough doing really well with their forward half pressure here. Locking it inside forward 50. But the umpire's going to call holding the ball. And the free kick will go the way of the Borough. So they're going to go up towards the hot spot. Big pack of players form. Ball comes out the front of the contest. They've got numbers here, the Blues. Ingram bouncing out of the back pocket. Her kick is not the greatest, though. Dyer's going to get the Borough back inside forward 50. Her kick was just towards the pocket. She was slung as she kicked it. Hovering over the football is Emily Harley. And I think the boundary line's going to beat them all here. It does indeed. And we'll have it tossed in as we creep closer to full time here at Icon Park. The Borough staving off the Blues. They're going to get their first win of the season. A big one for Sean Bunkle after they were well and truly handled by the Cats last week. So from the restart, Dudley will win possession for the Borough. Little kick forward there by Klingbill. All Borough here, though. Wobbly one back inside forward 50. Dudley almost picked it up. Little handball out there by Joyce. Clearing kick again by Klingbill. She's been in the thick of things for the Blues. Milford's been really quiet today. She's been really well clamped down on. Zampellione for the Blues. Winning possession for the Borough there is Locke. She's wrapped up as soon as she wins it. That's Chloe Locke. And we'll have a ball up the attacking side of the centre square for the Borough, who are going to come away with a big 4 points.
Yeah, Carlton at Darebin next week. Port Melbourne, another test. They keep on coming. They go to Vic Park to play the Pies. Won't be any easier down there in... talk about enemy territory. A hostile environment down there, Victoria Park. From Icon Park to Victoria Park. Of course, they're not going to see North Port Oval until later in the season due to cricket commitments. They're on the winners list this morning, the Borough. And once again, we've got the non-officiating umpire who's come in to pay a free kick. Won't be time to take it. Port Melbourne, for the first time in 2022, are on the winners list. And boy, did this footy club need that. The final score in the end, 5-13-43. Port Melbourne knock off the Blues, 3-5-23. An even 20-point win for Port Melbourne, their first of the season. And boy, that's a big 4 points for the Borough. They move to 1 and 3. Carlton as well go to 1 and 3. And all of a sudden, the Blues, 1 and 3 looks a lot different compared to 2 and 2, Katie.
Yeah, absolutely. And just quickly as well, we will have John O'Ben with our post-match interview with either Claire Dye or Emily Harley. We'll just jump in anytime, John, whenever you got them, whenever you get a moment.
Thanks, Katie.
Potentially season-defining result here for Port Melbourne. If they have the ability to make the finals and go into a massive run into the finals, I'll look back on this game as the moment that changed everything. So what a performance from Port Melbourne. Fantastic result.
Go and get number 15 from Port Melbourne, Jono, if you can. The captain.
That's Claire Dyatt.
Claire Dyatt, it is indeed. So just read that score out again, Paolo,
yes, indeed.
mate. Yep, 5-13-43 Port Melbourne. Knock off Paul's Blues 3-5-23.
Thanks, mate.
Pretty darn good game of football. In the end, Port Melbourne, they were asked the question at three-quarter time and they responded 2-3 in that final quarter. Carlton, the 1 goal straight. All single goal kickers today, 5 of them for the Borough. Emily Harley, Sophie Locke, Stella Reed, Isabella Stutt and Beth Wilson for the Blues. Lily Goss, Charlotte Hammonds and Dress Stramon Denoli. Let's go down to Jono.
Thanks, guys. I do have Claire Dyatt with me. It's good to be on the winners list finally. Hey, I can see you coming off on and off the bench. It was a range of emotions, but it's good to get the 4 points.
Oh, it's fantastic. We've been craving a win this week. Obviously losing the first 3, but we went into this training. Our theme was belief this week, and I think we definitely put it out there. We believed we could win, and we did, so it was great.
First game for you as co-captain of this team. What's most impressed you? I mean, being off field, you've had the chance to mentor the team, but what's been most impressive off field during the week that's translated to today and getting the win?
I think this week in training we've just lifted our intensity. We've come in, we've got a very new group like most teams would, so it's not an excuse, but it's taken a little bit of time to gel together. We've got some new girls that come in for Richmond from week to week, and it's fantastic to have them down, and they're wearing the Port Melbourne colours, so they're representing Port Melbourne. But this week, as I mentioned, it's just been belief, and we've definitely showed that on the track this week.
One of those players, I believe, is Emily Harley. She was very impressive today. You can see the smile on your face. Can you tell her what she's? Can you tell us what she's like around the club, and the impact that she has on the team culture-wise as well as on field?
Yeah, look, she's a bit of a jokester. She's in our leadership group, but she loves to have a laugh. She's very hard on herself. She did shank one from 10 metres out last week. So I'm talking about Em Harley. So she's just, when she's smiling, I think she just gets everyone else up. And she absolutely synced one today. So yeah, super stoked for her.
Well, as the rain comes down, I'll let you go because you're keen to get in with your team and sing the song. Thanks so much for joining us on WolfRadio.com. Up to you guys upstairs.
Go on, yeah, Jono, let him get in and sing the song, Paul, for the first time this season.
Yes, indeed. And what a game it was for the Borough getting their first win of 2022. Meg Mcdonald leading the way with the disposals. 25 touches leading all possession getters on the ground. Amelia Klingbeil as well, toiling away for the Blues with 20 touches. Olivia Barton, 19. Ashley Thornycroft with 19. Katie O'Keefe with 17 as well. They were the leading disposal getters on the ground. And Claire Dyatt had 14 herself too. She had 3 tackles. She was fantastic today. But Toby, can the Borough can take some momentum into the rest of the season now, getting the monkey off their back?
Well, absolutely can. And they've just jumped Carlton on the ladder as well with Darebin getting up 3-6-24.
Yes.
Played North Melbourne 1-2-8. So suddenly, Port Melbourne's 1-3 looks really different to Carlton's 1-3.
It does indeed at the moment, and the ladder is taking plenty of shape. So the Darebin Falcons now go to 7th spot on the table. So Essendon lead the way, Casey in 2nd, Geelong 3rd, Hawthorn surprisingly there in 4th, the Southern Saints at 3-1 in 5th spot, and Collingwood holding down that 6th spot at the moment, 2-2 with a percentage of 103. The Darebin Falcons now 2-2. With a percentage of 46.4. But Katie, can the Blues take anything out of the game? I mean, they have the individuals there to be able to gain momentum and gain the ascendancy gains, but it's probably just maybe the bottom 6 or 7 that just go quiet around the ball that aren't able to really help out and step the Blues up into winning positions.
I think so. They've had their moments in this game. I don't think in any way that they were outworked, that they didn't bring the effort. I thought that they did, but it's just those moments in the game that they couldn't quite cling on to. The lack of awareness in certain moments, those mistakes cost them dearly, and I think that start cost them as well. I think they really came out firing the third quarter, which they needed to. There's something to this team. I think I don't think they're a 1-3 team in my opinion. I think they can be better than what they're currently showing, but they're going to need to figure things out just a little bit as we go forward.
And the final scores here at Icon Park. So it was the Borough winning it by 20 points in the end. They led it by 8 points at quarter time. They led it by 15 at half time, 11 at the three-quarter time break, and then running out 20-point winners here on enemy territory. But Brent, your player of the day from a game perspective between these two respective teams?
I think Meg Mcdonald, probably. They had a lot of good players, Port Melbourne, but a lot of them sort of went missing in that third quarter. I think Meg Mcdonald was probably the only one that held the fort in that premiership quarter. So obviously you have a look at the stats and you look at that, and that tells you she was the best player on the ground. Just interesting to note as well, Port by 20 points. That was the game-high margin in the end, the final margin this morning. So there will be a lot of people that just have a look on the app on Monday morning and see, okay, Port Melbourne by 20 points. This was a much closer game than what the final margin suggests. But no, if you're holding a gun to my head, Paul, and asking me to pick best on ground, I think we do the coaches' votes as well this year. I reckon Meg Mcdonald might have a large majority of those this week. I'm going to completely agree with you on that. I thought she was fantastic today. Amelia Klingbeil, good too, but I think Meg Mcdonald takes the chocolates. Katie, player of the day?
Look, to be honest, I think it's a debut game for Ingrid Hutzma. I think her first half was really impressive.
Great call.
Showed that she belonged at this level, which